It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show with Free Beer.
They were showing helicopter footage over his house, like traffic chopper footage. Copper. What? There's one for you. Traffic chopper footage. I'm convinced that at some point we're going to read headlines about him and go, well, I didn't know he was into that, but I guess I'm not surprised. Mm-hmm. Could be anything. He might be a putt smeddler, or a smut peddler, or a putt smeddler.
Putt smeddler.
That's not as bad as getting drunk and then climbing behind the car. I can't believe how many emails we're getting from women who regularly have sex with work, with delivery drivers, come on, UPS people. Why don't you just let the tires out of the vehicle? And everybody's scratching their head and going, huh.
Or let the air out of the tires.
I have a great interest in Munster. Memory serves correct. It was a poisonous snake. I'm going to use the word pass. P starts with pass. It'd be like trying to type on a keyboard while riding in the pickup of a cab going down a bumpy road.
Hot Wings, Eric Zane, producer Joe, and Steve. The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
It's Tuesday. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Free Beer and Hot Wings and Eric Zane, producer Joe and producer Steve here as well. You can join us toll-free, 1-800-947-3979. We hope you will. You can also email the show, idiots, at freebeerandhotwings.com.
You guys hear there's a big thing with a new deli meat, guys.
A new deli meat?
Horse.
Horse.
South Florida is, South Florida is seeing a jump in illegal horse killings as restaurants quietly serve up horse.
Do people know they're getting horse?
It says, article in USA Today is saying that a jump in the horse meat market as restaurants quietly serve up the illicit fare, butchers provide it to trustworthy customers, and police officers find slaughtered horse carcasses on roadsides. They just throw it out of the car.
There has to be you'd think there's a better way than that, but maybe there's not.
At least 17 butchered horse carcasses have been found in Miami-Dade County this year, the highest annual number ever recorded in the county.
What the hell?
Worried horse owners are organizing watches to patrol their stables. Selling and eating horse meat is legal in many states. In Florida, selling horse meat is legal if it is stamped. It is? Well, I can see it maybe being legal, but I can't see anyone even wanting it. Isn't it taste incredibly oily and gamey and assy? And
well, it can't be great. Otherwise,
people would eat it.
Some coalition at some point would have made a big push in order to make it legal in all states, and everyone would sell it at a deli counter if it was good.
There'd be horse farmers that were raising horse for meat.
Yeah, there's a reason we use like every part of the pig. That's because they're delicious.
Yeah, so are cows.
And so are cows, and turkeys and chickens, but
also, those animals are ugly. Horses are very pretty.
Well, that's true. There's not a lot of majesty to your average chicken.
Mm-hmm. Cows don't prance and gallop, for God's sake.
No, 150,000 people don't gather and drink mint juleps and watch pigs race with tiny dwarves on the back.
That might be
but I might.
You know what?
I might. If that was available, I would be willing to go.
I would go to that much quicker than the Derby.
Butchers in Miami have stolen frozen horse meat in their stores for trustworthy customers. Sometimes the meat is sold in neighborhoods out of coolers. The meat sells for $10 to $20 a pound.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's very
high.
Hell
yeah, it is.
Well, it's rare. It's a rare meat.
It can be as high as $40 a pound when supply is short.
Do you think it's the price per pound goes up if it's from a horse that has good bloodlines? This horse was a great-grandson of Secretariat, so you know it's really good.
He's delicious. Lean muscle mass.
Wow. Well, actually, it says, I didn't realize this. I thought it was a more fatty meat, but some Miami restaurants serve horse meat. See, I was under the impression this article was they were putting it illegal as a mixture and grinding it for other like beef products. Not so.
You order a hamburger, and what you don't know is 10% of it or 30% of it is horse.
Some Miami restaurants serve horse meat, which is considered to be sweeter, less fatty, and higher in protein than beef. In European countries such as France, Italy, and Belgium, the meat is seen as a big want, a big need. So I'll have the horse, please.
I'm sure there are people listening that eat horse.
No way.
1-800-947-3979. Sell us on your horse meat.
It is also eaten widely in Central and South America, where it is believed to have medicinal value. Oh, well, hocus pocus. Okay, great. Yeah, right. I got the flu. Eat some horse.
You're about as bright as District 9 when they kept portraying that the Nigerians would eat the aliens hoping to get their special powers.
Let's see. Apparently a lot of Cubans would eat this. That would explain the proximity to it. South Florida. So maybe that's it. Well, then no one other than Cubans in South Florida eat horse. Or Haitians, they're saying, might be causing the big push to chow on horse.
Really
I don't know why.
It's really crazy. It's all about what you're used to.
It shouldn't be a stigma because it's muscle tissue, just like cow.
Yeah.
But there is something. It seems filthy to me.
Yeah, it seems like something I wouldn't want to eat. Like I'm off-put by it.
Like
it would be like eating human to me.
Or dog.
Yeah,
it's just slightly below human.
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of problems lately, like when I've cut into, like my wife bought some turkey the other day, and like actual turkey, not deli turkey or whatever. But and as I'm slicing it, I went, oh God, this is totally muscle. And the next thing you know, I'm thinking about slicing human muscle.
Well, yeah, when you
I'm like,
term
oh
it as,
no, this isn't good.
Cook up some muscle, man.
I can't be a vegetarian.
Like
I only like spinach and carrots.
Yeah, when you say
what am I going to have?
like
Spinach, carrots, and wheat thins? That's my diet?
Well, and God, if your hometown found out about it, you could never go back.
No, there's no
They would
vegetarians
draw and quarter
there.
you.
Oh, jeez.
They think my wife's a witch.
Over there,
like not a mean person, but an actual witch. They think she's hocus pocus.
Back in that community, they don't even serve formula to babies. They just put a little milk in a blender, add some steak, blend it up, and put it in a bottle.
And give them a beer, maybe.
My parents would just rub a steak on my face and hope I'd get it through absorption. That's how it worked. Cody joins us. Hi, Cody.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man, you like horse?
Honestly, not really.
Oh, damn it. Well, we wanted a horse eater, but what's up anyway?
But you've had it.
I've had it, and honestly, like I was saying, it's like a bad ribeye when it's way too dark. And it just, a lot of people rave on about it, and somebody on a bet said, I bet you won't eat it, and I did.
Bet.
Wasn't that good.
What was the setting that you had it? Was it at someone's house or at a restaurant?
It was at a restaurant. It's actually very common at a restaurant, and
you were out of the United States. You were in Belgium when you did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it says like on the sign, eat at Joe's, try the horse.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those, well, this is what they got, this is some weird different stuff. Try the calamari. Oh, why don't you try the horse? And I was like, what?
You're making me gay.
Oops.
Hey,
Thank you, Cody. Have you had buffalo?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's okay. That's
you know
acceptable.
why? Because it looks like a cow.
Yeah, it's like a big, giant, dopey-looking hairy
They're
cow.
stupid
Looks
looking.
like a cow,
That dumb head that they have that kind of just mixes right in with their back.
But yeah, like we were saying before, though, if we had been born in a place where everybody eats horses and cats, and you had pet pigs, and then all of a sudden somebody was eating pigs, we'd be just as horrified.
Oh, of course.
I'm talking people say the buffalo are almost extinct. I usually go, so?
Yeah, it's not like there was ever a time in my life when they were all roaming around.
Yeah, and what are they doing for me?
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't eat them.
Anything.
I don't have one as a pet. I don't care.
They actually look like they'd be fun to kill. So big and stupid.
Yeah. You're right.
I've never wanted to kill before, but that buffalo,
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to take a shot.
Most animals look like animals. You actually look like food and warmth to me.
Yeah.
You look like a blanket and a steak.
So they have to be hacked apart with a scimitar or something.
Or like a double-sided axe.
I think it'd be okay to rent a rental car and take out the full insurance and just drive till you hit a buffalo.
Oh, God.
That seems to be the best way to me.
Get a big GMC dually.
You know you were successful when the airbag goes off.
Free burn out and show buffalo slaughter with a truck contest. Instead of giving away a trip to Daytona this year, we're going on a buffalo slaughter.
We're gonna fly to Montana.
Yeah. Where the last remaining herd is. There's 80 of them, and we're gonna whittle them down to 8.
Maybe we send Joe on a bullfight, except he's fighting a buffalo that doesn't hate him. That doesn't hate him nor have any reason to be aggressive towards him.
I bury a sword right in its face.
It's at a petting zoo.
Yeah, and then it turns around, it's got a daisy in its mouth, and you feel bad.
A daisy.
Well, they're weird looking because they weigh like 14,000 pounds, but their legs are a half-inch wide. It's like a stupid balance anomaly that occurs. Somehow they're able to ambulate, and they don't deserve to live because of that.
They look like the fat girls that went out for pom-pom squad at my school.
Right.
Yeah.
Same sort of proportions. Short, stubby legs.
Yeah, or if they made the cheerleading squad at a smaller school, they were what we would refer to as the bottom of the pyramid.
Yes. You're a base, not a flyer.
Yeah.
I believe is the way it's termed. 1-800-947-3979. In a moment, a clip from, well, it's sort of a clip from, it's a reimagining of a clip from one of my favorite movies, Miracle, which is based on a real story.
Yeah. Okay.
With Herb Brooks and his inspiring speech
that would be
to the 1980 U.S. men's Olympic hockey team.
Who was the actor in that?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Who was really good.
Oh, heck
really
yeah,
good. He was Herb Brooks to me. So we'll get to that next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Get off my phone, you little pinhead!
Glenn Beck, legendary clips.
Those are.
Glenn Beck, pretty famous for crying on command. There's a viral video going around on the internet that shows how he gets those tears to magically appear, at least for the purposes of shooting promos. I don't think he could do it during live television. I don't think you'd be able to do it. But
well, he did in that one moment when he was acting about the 9/11 thing and feel like you do today, like you did all patriotic.
No, he definitely has the tears during his live show.
Oh.
I don't know that he could use the same trick during the live show because when he's shooting the promos, he takes Vaseline or Vicks Vapor Rub rather, and puts it right on the cusp of his eyelids, so it just barely is touching the bottom of his eye. And moments later, he looks like he's been bawling. Mm-hmm. It must be an old makeup trick or something like that. He was shooting promos and no doubt needed to look like he was tearing. He was probably shooting some promos that made fun of himself.
Uh-huh.
But it worked.
Oh, yeah.
He looked like he was bawling.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time you need a fake cry, to get out of sex or something like that, Joe. Just kidding. I don't know why. You were in line of sight. That's all it was.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So the movie Miracle is it actually is probably my favorite sports movie of all time. The whole story of the Miracle on Ice, the 1980 men's Olympic hockey team beating the Russians, and what was essentially a team of men and professionals taking on a team of amateur college students.
Mine is Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield is yours?
That's great.
That's pretty quality
wonderful,
as well.
Wonderful sports movie.
That is a good one.
The coaching job by Herb Brooks, if you were able to quantify one coaching job versus another, I think his would be near the very top for what he did.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't, and before the movie, even when you look at the documentary that HBO did called Do You Believe in Miracles, or you read anything about it, that was a year-long coaching effort culminating with the gold medal at Lake Placid. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest things that happened was, and Mike Ruzioni talked about it on our show that time, and a lot of the other players have talked about it for years, the speech that Herb Brooks gave before they took to the ice to take on the Russians, the Soviet Union, which had dominated, as people remember. Mm-hmm. And so with that, we play for you a clip of someone who taught their 4-year-old to say the same speech and is trying to ruin it for everyone.
Great moments are born from great opportunities.
Oh.
That's what you have here tonight, boys.
Sounds like Urkel.
How long? And I guess it's about 4 years till you can start bastardizing your son and teaching him to do things that the internet will hate.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to utilize him for those purposes.
That's what you earned here tonight.
Oh.
One game. If we play them 10 times, they might win 9.
Oh, man, I don't know what it is. I have kids, and I hate that kid talking.
Yeah, I do too. Well, it's because it goes from cute kid into precociousness when you dress them up like a movie character and have them read lines.
Now, I haven't seen this clip. Was this kid dressed up?
He was dressed like Herb. He had the tan sport jacket. He looked just like Herb Brooks did in the.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, man, I would have punched this kid right in the face.
But not this game.
Oh.
Not tonight. Tonight, we escape from. Tonight, we stay with them.
I hope this kid tries playing hockey when he grows up.
Now, I got to give him some credit. He has he's got the cadence and everything down. It's the same, very similar to the scene in the movie.
I can't tell. All I see is red right now.
Too furious.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
And we shut them down because we can.
Oh, no, you can't. I want the team to lose now because of this kid.
Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team
No, you're not.
in the world.
Russians are better.
You were born to be hockey players.
No, you suck.
Every one of you.
Your team blows.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
No, it shouldn't be.
This is your time.
Wish it wasn't.
Their time is done.
Not true.
It's over. I'm sick and tired hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Screw them. This is your turn.
Oh,
now go out there and take it.
I am a worse person because I just heard that.
That's one step below sing. If he had busted out into song, it would have been all over. I'd had to shoot somebody.
I could actually feel my heart turning black and cold.
Ugh.
And the thing is, when you have a conversation with a kid, like if you were talking at that guy's house, let's say he was your friend, you were talking, you would not feel that way.
I would probably be
it's
very
different.
Say, hey, how's it going, little fella? And you have a conversation, he's riding his hippity hop or his green machine or whatever. Doesn't matter.
I'd probably be very charmed by him and think, God, what a wonderful kid. You seem like you've done a great job as parents.
When it comes to performance, it just it irks me.
Yeah.
Zane,
in a really bad
Big
way.
time.
I think I'm 99% sure I know the answer to this question. But you and your wife are not the type, because you've never done it to me, and I don't think you've ever done it to Hot Wings or Joe or Steve, but where you would have your kids, hey, especially when they're younger, not so much now. Hey, Jimmy, sing that song for everybody.
If they came down and said, excuse me, I'd like to play this then I would be, oh, okay. All right. But I would never say, do this for people, ever.
Yeah,
never have I. I have never, ever once done that.
By the way, I think the parent who says, no, go back upstairs. Like, can I sing my song for you? No. I think that parent's actually worse than the parent who nags them into singing.
Oh.
Imagine that. No, beat it.
No, get out of here.
No one thinks you're talented.
Great hockey team the Soviets have.
Oh.
Screw them. This is your turn.
I wish the Soviets won 20-0.
Now go out there and take it.
Way to ruin one of the greatest things that ever happened, you little brat.
Yeah, no, I wish they hadn't won so they had never had a reason to make the movie.
Your stupid dad.
That though at least reminds me of the very positive speech. I always like what is the lore of Herb Brooks' speech, not before the game against the Soviet Union, but the game in the championship against Finland or Norway? Finland?
The Finns.
Because they beat the Russians in the second to last game, the Soviets. And so it was very anticlimactic when they took to the ice against the Finns.
Yeah.
Because everybody was already amazed that they beat this amazing Soviet team that had only lost like one game in 2 years prior and everything else.
Yeah.
And so Brooks walked into the locker room before the game against the Finns, and all he said, according to the players, was, "You lose this game, you're taking it to your effing grave." And then he turned around and took 3 steps and stopped and turned around for dramatic effect and said, "Your effing grave." And then walked out. And I remember Ruzioni in that documentary saying, everybody's looking at each other like,
uh-oh.
Holy balls. Herb's pissed, and we haven't even done anything yet.
That dad should have the kid do that speech. Now, that'd be something.
I got to admit, I'd kind of think that's funny.
Oh, I would. I would like that.
I don't know why, but kids saying really bad words with anger is kind of funny when they're not your child.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what you want to do. You want to teach your kids that.
Hot Wings, can we teach your son to say the F word?
Oh, yes. I'm going to teach him all bad words.
Well,
that's all I do right now. I don't hold him up and go, hi, little guy. I just say swear words.
My kids knew it at age 2.
Where's your effer? Where's your effer?
Hey, you CSer. Hey. You little S.
There is not a time in your life where you will refer to your son seriously as a CS.
No,
but maybe like if he rolls the car when he's 12 or something like that.
Well, if he were to roll the car, then it would probably
you
happen.
might want to hinge your bet on that. It might happen.
It's a
you
possibility.
never can tell.
It
Trust
is a
me.
possibility.
It may have happened at my house 1,000 times.
How much do you think your dad's ever referred to you, even behind your back, as a CSer?
No, but I learned the word from him in the car.
You did?
Yeah. Yep.
He called it to you.
Yep.
well, no doubt mad at other drivers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got that. I learned that from somewhere.
That was a shocking revelation after rooming with Hot Wings for a number of years in college. The first time I rode, I think you and I had flown home from Omaha, and your parents were nice enough to pick us up at the airport in Detroit. And then it was about 45 minutes to your parents' home where they were hosting me.
Yeah.
And it was very entertaining to see how similar your dad's driving technique was to yours, with the impatience, the tailgating, the muttering, the waving of the hands. It was very entertaining.
Mild-mannered Barry. Put him behind the wheel of the Buick, and he'll go crazy.
You guys are the same person at this very moment.
Yep, pretty much.
It's amazing. Well, if you really want to, you can see the video of that kid ruining Herb Brooks' speech. I guess if you know, because you want to target him somehow.
Oh, that's what
you want to see him.
Maybe if you become too accustomed to your eyesight and want a reason to gouge your eyeballs out, that'd be a good one.
If you're in the mood for assassinating someone, make it this child. Kill this kid.
No. I don't care if you're kidding. That's so awful.
I know it, but sometimes things have to be said. Tough people say tough things, and that kid needs one right between the eyes.
Then why are you talking?
Tough people say tough things.
I made that one up, by the way.
That was very
tough people, tough talk. That's my adage.
In a moment, the flashback. I believe in this, they got more than they bargained for. It's two guys named Ryan and Andrew from the website GetRyanLaurenLade.com. And I think they thought we were going to give them a pet bunny or something, and instead they got a verbal punch in the nose and recoiled greatly, if I remember right. That's next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
To get on with the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show, have something interesting to say.
Embarrassment. I'm 56 years old and I'm a virgin. I'm sorry.
Or be a huge idiot.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Flashback today. We talked to the guys from GetRyanLaurenLade.com. Certainly this guy does. Well, at least his friends want him to. Situation, guy's friends. Ryan Lauren is the guy. It's GetRyanLaurenLade.com. His friend Andrew is the one who put it together. We've got both of them joining us. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. And Andrew, how are you?
Can't complain.
Okay.
Are you guys high?
We were thinking about it. We decided probably we shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Now there's the website is called Get Ryan Lauren Lade. Ryan, did you sign off on this? Was it your idea?
Absolutely not. I had no part in it, actually. Yeah, it was my idea, and he was just so desperate to get laid and had so little self-esteem at this point that he just let us do it.
So you thought the best way to build his self-esteem towards getting laid was to create a website to tell the world how much of a not getting laid threat he is?
Well, we weren't too concerned about his self-esteem at this point. It was more about just getting him laid, just for the potential hilarity factor.
So I imagine, Andrew, that you have been laid, and you have been kind of bragging to Ryan over a period of time.
Yes, very much so. We all do all the time, every chance we get.
Okay.
Ryan, I've read the website, and I see what they say holds you back, but I'm curious what you think holds you back.
I'm just going to have to go with a series of bad luck and extreme awkwardness.
Yeah. Any close calls?
What was that?
Any close calls, like almost happened, but I don't know, for whatever reason?
There's a couple of stories, but I feel like it shouldn't be left up for me to tell, and I don't think they're that interesting at all.
Sure. Do you want Andrew to tell them because he was lurking in the closet with a video cam, or what?
He might have been.
I'm sure he's jazzed him up.
He was. I think he sounds like his pants are off right now.
Yeah. You got.
Hard to believe you can't keep it together at a party.
Why don't you just admit you two want each other and you should do it right now?
We were thinking about it.
We were thinking about that. I don't know if that would count, though. I mean, does receiving count as being interesting for a guy?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that.
Oh, no.
Not sure what the stats are on that, but.
Are you guys college age, high school? What's the setup?
Yeah, we're in college.
You're 20, right?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's not so bad. I mean, I was 20.
Me too.
And look at me. I turned out great. I get laid almost, occasionally.
Thank God.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know if forcing the issue is the way to do it. It probably won't be that great. I was a guy who, the girl who my first with, she was, I don't know what the deal was. We've talked about this on the air.
Many times.
She was way into black guys, and then I walked in.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, and then what did you say about me? About my nose?
I said that she probably thought you were going to use your nose because it's large.
Yes. So I guess what I'm getting at is you can't really force it. It's kind of probably just going to come on to you, so to speak.
Oh, the advice.
No, we're actually trying to force it. We think that would be.
Have you tried roofies?
No, not yet.
Me or the girl?
Probably.
Well, yeah, probably you.
I would choose at this point. I would choose you.
What are you hoping people do with the website?
Hopefully forget about it within 3 days and never go to it again.
No, everyone's going to go to it now. It's being talked about on the radio.
Yeah.
Andrew, with this website, are you hoping that a woman will come onto the website and say, I will, in fact, be the lay?
Yes.
What type of chick are you looking for?
Women like that out there, they just need to find the website.
Any woman?
Any woman.
I mean, what if she's a real barker?
Is it a woman?
Ryan, for yourself, like
I can't believe you haven't been laid.
Yeah.
You can't even have a conversation without these awkward pauses
social skills
with guys.
and all the laughing.
Yeah.
Gotta stop.
I can't. I mean, if I were a woman, I'd whip my clothes off and drive to where you're at right now.
It's that right there.
It's that tandem.
Yeah.
It's like repellent for chicks.
Yeah. As soon as they hear that from you two idiots, they immediately turn tail and they leave you. Have you noticed that?
I guess that's been it the whole time. I just never realized it.
Ryan, I think the problem is you need to stop being friends with Andrew.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
He might be holding you back. He might be one big C blocker right there.
Yeah.
Wait, so now that we've been on the show, are we going to get a whole, swarm of women?
You might. I don't know.
Probably a few unsavory types.
Hey, how much snot is on your top lip right now from all your laughing?
A lot.
Does Andrew have a Kool-Aid mustache?
Now, Ryan, you're obviously going to get laid a lot when you finish your degree. I mean, everybody knows mechanical engineers never stop laying pipe, so things are looking up for you.
Oh, I know. I can't wait for that moment to come.
Do your parents know about this website?
Absolutely not.
Well, it's funny because we're thinking about getting them on the other line.
All right.
Well, you do air in Albany, right?
Yeah. Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
Oh, they know now. I guarantee it. They've heard that stupid laugh before.
And they sent you to college in eastern Pennsylvania to get rid of you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that what it was?
Oh, man.
Well, you never know. Maybe this will work.
No, it won't, because, Andrew, you did not do Ryan any favors by the photos you chose for the website.
Uh-huh.
Those are the most flattering ones I could find.
I don't. If that's the case, then there's no hope. You might as well just take the website down, and I don't know what you need to do at that point.
Yeah, you've got squinty-eyed ski jacket Ryan. Then you've got like slightly emaciated homoerotic Abercrombie and Fitch Ryan.
And then you've got that one picture that says, "Hey, look, everybody at our school gets dates except Ryan."
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not good. You got to get different pictures on there.
Ryan, are those really the best pictures you've got?
Yeah, sadly.
Oh man.
Have you ever seen a girl's private parts even in a magazine?
I once accidentally looked at a Playboy and saw some.
Oh. Okay, yeah, again, you guys have got to come grips with the fact that you two are, yes, gay, and become lovers and be done with this silly website and move on with your lives in your gaydom.
Or not.
Or
They're
not.
stifling the nervous nerd laughter now.
Yeah, they are. Joe?
Okay, so when you find the girl, when she finds you, when she gets on the site and you have someone to lay, what is the process?
Right.
What if she's in a different state?
Good question.
Do you ride your BMX to her?
I have a skateboard that I can ollie my way there, and I'm sure we'll have a great time and skate back and enjoy my life back at school.
Now, have you practiced all the things that you would do, like condom use or anything? Because I don't want you like getting excited and strangling yourself or something here.
I don't know. I'm kind of hoping she'll show me the ropes.
Okay. Like they go on your tongue.
He probably doesn't know. Probably a fact right there.
And an armchair is a good thing to practice on.
Guys, Andrew and Ryan, I sense that the wind kind of coming out of your sails in this conversation. Are you what's the matter?
I just never thought it was that interesting, and I'm surprised you guys find it that interesting.
It's not.
Well,
now, Andrew, on the other standpoint, you made the website. You thought it was that interesting. Were you expecting that people would see it and go, "Yeah, I want to be a part of this. This is what we're talking about"?
I kind of was expecting that. I'm kind of surprised at the lack of feedback. You know, we've only gotten a couple emails, and none have come through so far. But we need a little publicity for this thing to take off.
It does seem like women are totally into desperation. That's one thing they always say: sense of humor and desperation.
No, you know what though? There's some of those like night nurses out there that are all for like the horrible situation.
Yeah, you know what
they want to make it all better. They like a lost cause.
Ryan, I'm looking at these images and kind of expanding on what Howling says. Ryan, you ever see any of those German porn videos where the emaciated, squirrely-looking kid kind of like plows the old lady? That's you.
It's like Ilsa, Queen of the SS.
They're sitting there listening to Rammstein and too many tattoos and a bent crank. And there you are. Come on. All right.
We think we're funny.
Ryan, before we go, tell us about the time you ruined your friend Jenny's roommate's robe when you saw her at the Elk Grove dorm.
I just had enough and snapped.
Look, all right, audience members,
it might work out.
Ladies, go to the website. Get
RyanLaurenLade.com.
That's right.
Yep. If you missed it, send us an email, and then you can arrange passage to do this kid.
Yep. And it might work out. You never know. If this works out, I want credit on the website. Is that okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give you guys a call if it works out.
Okay.
All right.
We'll talk to you again never.
All right, guys.
Andrew and his friend Ryan Lauren from GetRyanLaurenLade.com. Good luck, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you, dudes.
I don't think I'm...
It's like their hearts got broken. They weren't laughing at all when we were laughing in their faces.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I hope we broke a little bit of that dumb laugh spirit that they had at the beginning, where every time you said something, they go, because that's not going to work for them.
Well, and neither is this website.
No.
I mean, intern Kurt Busch, self-professed giant nerd.
Yeah.
Have you ever decided to make a website to try to get some?
No, but I think it's $1 million idea.
No, it's
no,
not,
you
Kurt.
don't. You don't need that.
Only you would think that, Kurt.
Can't you trick someone into doing it when you're LARPing and tell them it's part of the game?
Yeah.
Oh, every time.
Let me jam you with my scepter or something like that.
I'm a wood nymph. Look at me. You can do that, right?
It's in the rules. Look it up on the internet.
I rolled a 20. You have to do me.
Is that roughly how your first time will go?
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah. Some nerd heifer who's supposed to be like, I don't know, an ogre or something like that in your LARPing world. You're going to slam her.
It's not even one of the good LARPers. It's somebody that got all confused and came with the wrong costume from the wrong era. You're doing some sort of wizards and warlocks, and they show up as Shrek.
Yeah, and you know, she's like a 55-year-old woman. You're going to have to pry it open with like a sandblasting tool.
Some sort of pneumatic device.
She actually arrives with one of those vehicles in front that says wide load, like a house moving expedition. Ridiculous. So Ryan and Andrew seem to really enjoy that radio interview.
Yeah,
they seem to really have gotten a lot out of it.
Yeah, I think so. I think they were better people after that.
Probably. I bet you they learned a lesson. Don't have a stupid thing on the internet to get publicity. Because you may not get all of the good.
Right.
1-800-947-3979. Remember the death of someone I really knew nothing about, DJ AM.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything about this guy until he was in that. If he hadn't been in that plane crash with, was it Travis Barker from Blink-182, I would have never heard of him until he died.
Yeah.
The only thing I know him from is this.
Man, rest in peace to my mother man,
Word.
DJ AM, man.
Word.
This is so ill because I just spoke to him last night, and we both are coming out with a sneaker together with Nike. Shout out to Nike.
That's all I know about him.
DJ Premier at his at a memorial. Well, DJ AM was working on an anti-drug reality series called Gone Too Far for MTV. When he had filmed that, and it was in post-production, when he then had an accidental overdose on drugs and died.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that anti-drug reality series, he was counseling people that were on drugs, sort of a DJ AM intervention.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to go ahead with that, or they're going to let it go? It's kind of a loaded question. You already know the answer. If they were letting it go, I wouldn't have brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
His family has signed off on it. They say that the decision to air has been difficult, but we do this with the profound belief that it will inspire others to seek help. I believe the sound effect has the answer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
If you don't air it, you're not going to get paid for it. And getting paid for it's awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, who cares if he's dead, as long as you get money?
It's not impossible that someone who later has a relapse could have helped somebody in between the time that they were on drugs and the time that they had that relapse. So it's not impossible, but it still seems to send I suppose if I were looking at it from the glass half full perspective, I could say that the message it sends is that a true addict has to be wary of the battle with his demons every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's very positive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They'll be able to spin this into a big success.
It probably will be, but it does feel like a money grab to me.
Of course.
Well, it is.
It debuts Monday at 10 Eastern on MTV. DJ Premier may be on there as well. We were also going to go to rehab together. Shout out to Rehab. So, I don't know.
Man.
What are you going to do? 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. You can go to freebeerandhotwings.com. New blog from Marissa. Also, a variety of videos and stuff going up there. Including the video of the 6-year-old, or the 4-year-old rather, doing Herb Brooks' speech from the movie Miracle.
Yeah, Joe said we have to see him. In fact, I regret not actually viewing it because I was only listening to the audio when we aired it.
Joe, you thought in just a couple seconds or so, you thought he looked like a kid from a horror movie or something like that, didn't you?
Yeah, he definitely he's got similar features to Gage from Pet Sematary.
Yeah, I agree. That's unpleasant. You don't want any part of that. You can see that video at freebeerandhotwings.com. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Man.
What's up, players? I've been up in here trying to get a motherfucking scholarship.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
That has never been made.
That is not true that a flying car has never been made.
You mean to tell me a car has flown through the air?
Yeah, I'm looking at one.
Hot Wings. That's an airplane. You can tell because of the wings.
But it's not just an airplane because you can tell because
then
of the
an
four
airplane's
wheels
not
and
just
it's
an
street
airplane.
legal, you stupid
That
idiot.
747's a car. Just a great big one.
That's not a 747. You can't
Right.
drive that 747 on the interstate, you big idiot.
Because it's too big.
You moron. That's a flying car.
Also included in Hot Wings list of things that haven't caught on: lightsabers, X-Wing fighters, and RoboCops.
It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
There it is, man. Cleared. Over. We both can put that behind us like adults. Now it's time to get super duper high.
Why don't you follow his lead and just chill out, man?
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
You don't seem chill.
More chill than you.
You're more chill than me.
Yeah.
Look what I'm wearing. Come on now, dog. What are you wearing?
Suit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Tuesday. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Free Beer and Hot Wings and Eric Zane. 3 hosts. One website, freebeerandhotwings.com. If you're new to the show, that's a great place to start. You can read why the show has such a stupid name.
Mm-hmm.
You can get caught up on a lot of things. You can get an understanding of show code, which is pretty important.
Yeah.
You can also see the two producers, producer Joe in one booth, Steve in the other, far, far away, a variety of interns. Andy 2 times is here. I believe Marissa is here somewhere as well.
Mm-hmm.
It is the I Can't Wait to Talk About Blank segment, whatever might be on your mind. 1-800-947-3979. You can also email throughout the show, and you can call anytime during the show, not just this segment, but the email, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Guys, you know what today is? Today is Tuesday, as you know, and that is the big release day of new material, whether it be like DVDs, video games, music, and that's right. A fresh new studio album today from Kiss.
A new studio album, huh?
The first since 1998, Hot Wings.
Wow.
You remember that day when you ran to the store to pick up Psycho Circus? You remember that day?
Yeah.
What did you feel?
Boy, do I.
What did you feel when you bought Psycho Circus?
Ripped off.
Wait a minute.
Sad.
Hold on.
Duped.
All right. That's right. Kiss is back. Sonic Boom is the new Kiss album due out Walmart stores. They've been a topic on this show recently.
Yeah.
Paul Stanley is 57. Gene Simmons is 60.
Wow.
Here's the quote, USA Today. Look at Kiss culture.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Says Gene Simmons. Jeez. People tattoo their bodies with Kiss faces, name their children after our songs, have Kiss conventions.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's right. I'd love to say that he's wrong, but he's telling the truth.
I don't believe for a second that he wants to hang with any of them.
Oh,
he just
God,
wants
no.
their wallets.
Absolutely not. He doesn't want to hang with fans.
He continues. This is Planet Kiss. We just live on it. Stage is holy ground. And what we do is electric church. Paul Stanley, no doubt, weighed in with, you know everybody's hot. We all got rock and roll pneumonia. Let's go back to love.
I hate Kiss. I really do.
I do, too.
You know,
You know what I hate more than Kiss? Mini Kiss.
Oh, wait. We'll get to that in a second.
That's a whole other...
We'll get to that in a second. We need to talk about Mini Kiss. But, I don't hate them. I actually like a lot of their songs. There's, I like them.
Well, if you like one, you have to like them all.
Well, you know that the new album, Sonic Boom, will probably have very similar chord progressions throughout the songs and lyrics like, it's only right now, things like that.
I wonder how many times they'll have an opportunity on that album to compare something to rock and roll.
So, there you go. They are back with a vengeance. And I'm looking at the photograph, the brand new publicity photograph. And I think I pointed this out off the air. When they have their makeup on, they look exactly the same as they did when they came out.
They really do. The only thing that you would even notice maybe is that Gene Simmons has a little bit of a paunch that sticks out of his rock costume.
That's the thing. Yeah, they wear spandex.
If he were to change the sizing a little bit, you wouldn't even notice that. But even that is subtle because it's just sort of grown there over the years.
Right. No big deal, man.
Yeah, when they're wearing their rock costumes, it's okay. But imagine if they, always had the makeup on, but not the costumes. Like they went to the beach with the makeup on, but they had old man body wearing swim trunks. Look hilarious.
They look so young with the gear on that I would just leave it on.
Yeah, I'd never take it off if I were them. To do anything. I'd go everywhere that way. It's the only way they look normal.
Going to the birth of his grandchild, gets to the hospital holding the baby, wearing platform shoes and giant moon boots, the makeup.
Because these guys, these are ugly men. These are not, they could have never, ever been described as even remotely handsome. And now they're just ghoulish without makeup on.
Paul Stanley won an award from Speak with a Lisp magazine.
He did?
As most attractive man ever who speaks with a lisp.
Hottest lisper.
I did.
That's right. We're proud to be a part of the Kiss Army. We'd be idiots to put out things fans don't want.
Kiss was part of one of my favorite rock star backstage stories of all time. Andy Richter told it, where he was backstage. He had gotten to know Gene through Conan O'Brien, because Gene was often on there, on Conan's show. And so he had gotten to know him. They had filmed little vignettes with him and stuff. And so they were playing in Indianapolis, and Andy Richter and his wife went, and they were invited backstage, and they were sitting in that green room area where the food is.
Yeah.
And I think it was Peter Criss. It was Peter Criss or Ace Frehley who came in and started storming around and kicking over Mastacholi and throwing things and screaming about why are these people in here? I'm sick and tired of people being in here. And Andy Richter's, I'm sitting there going, oh, God, this is awkward. I thought he knew who I was. I thought this was okay. I don't want to alienate him. And so then they sit there for a few minutes, and they're waiting for Gene Simmons. And then Andy and his wife go, hey, let's get out of here. Yeah. And they get up to walk out, and by this point, Andy or Peter or Ace or Peter, whichever one it was, is sitting there eating. And without looking up, as Andy walks by, he goes, sorry, Andy.
Oh, he just, while he was putting food in his mouth, sorry, Andy.
I'm sorry about that.
He knew he screwed up. Don't we know a guy who opened up for Kiss? Brian Vander Ark.
Brian Vander Ark from the band The Verve Pipe,
Didn't he have a crazy story?
Well, yeah, because
his band was not...
He got a call that said, hey, Gene Simmons wants you to... and the guys from Kiss want you to go on tour with them and open. And the Verve Pipe was doing good, but it's Kiss, for God's sakes.
Right, and that's not really it seems weird. It seems like two different worlds.
It's mismatched.
Yeah, they're not exactly
similar.
They're
more singer-songwriter Verve Pipe band as opposed to...
And they were played heavily on alternative rock stations.
Rock anthems, like Kiss, three chords and a cloud of dust.
Brian told us about the times that he'd be sitting in the dressing room getting ready to go out, and or they would have just finished their own set, and then Gene would come in wearing full makeup and sit down on a stool and go, well, boys, I thought you had a real nice set tonight. Here's some things to work on. And they had been booed by the Kiss audience, and because Kiss audience wasn't exactly into him or whatever.
Yeah, when you're there to hear Love Gun, you probably don't want to hear The Freshman. I'm just going out on a limb there.
Here's what you're doing wrong, Brian. Next time you get rock and roll pneumonia like me, you gotta do a gratuitous thank you, Cleveland.
Brian's just sitting there going, what? What are you talking about? I'm taller than you little shrimp.
Something you just said reminded me. I was listening to Jimmy Pardo's podcast, and he's a huge Kiss fan, and he's the first to say they suck, but he's an unapologetic fan. And he was just looking at a blog, and apparently they played sometime over the summer in Ottawa, and Gene or Paul, I don't know which one it was, I think, who does most of the stage banter, or do they share most of it? Do you know?
Paul and Gene talk the most. Yeah. Ace is retarded. Drugs has made him retarded.
So Gene or Paul, one of them, they're playing a show in Ottawa, and one of them said, hey, Canada, tonight Ottawa Ottawa is the capital of Canada. and
capital what?
Of Canada. Which it is.
It is
Not
the
just
capital.
when Kiss is there, but 365 days of the year.
And
Tonight, Ottawa is the capital of Canada.
Oh my God! And you know he used that in every city, and he just happened to hit the actual capital.
Beautiful.
Tonight, Thunder Bay is the capital of Canada. So is Ottawa.
The funny thing is, you mentioned how they don't even let Ace speak. He's not even in the band. That's not him. It's
what?
I'm looking at the photo you're looking at, but online, and underneath it says, "Party every day." Kiss celebrates 36 years in the industry with a new album, Sonic Boom. The band's lineup clockwise from left is Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Tommy Thayer, and Eric Singer.
Well, that's not Peter Criss either. Then there's two.
Those two guys only get to be in the band when the other guys say so.
They've been replaced with guys who wear the same makeup.
Oh, well, this is great.
Can you believe that?
Because I'm looking at a picture and I'm going, well, that's them. That's clearly them.
No wonder they look younger.
But the other two still look very young. But still, that's amazing that at first glance, all I see is what I need to see.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's Kiss.
Yeah.
You could have put a Samuel L. Jackson, and if the makeup was right, I would have believed it.
Kiss is going to be able to play for 1,000 years. They'll just they're like Menudo.
Oh, my
Just keep
gosh.
replacing members and having them wear the same makeup.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
can't
the
believe
Temptations do it without makeup. Of course, Kiss can do it with makeup.
I am shocked. I cannot believe this. That is not them.
Ace Frehley sitting around going, everybody thinks it's me, but it's not.
He has an album out right now, actually, Ace Frehley, because I was looking at not R&R, but Rolling Stone, and it's in the top 30 right now for rock albums.
Wow.
Ace Frehley does. And that's shocking to me that anyone would even play the damn thing. But
Peter Criss is on A&E's Hoarders. No, that's not true. That's not true. I want to get that started. In a moment, we're going to bring back a game that we probably haven't played on the air in 5 years.
Yeah.
We'll get a contestant. It's a chance to win a 30-gig refurbished iPod from Rapid Repair at rapidrepair.com. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Sure, you may think these guys suck.
These Pharisees, sycophants, gelatinous tapeworms.
But you're the one listening to them.
What Hot Wings thinks in about 25 minutes. What's your topic, Hot Wings?
Can't stop talking about John and Kate. In this case, mostly about Kate going on the Today Show yesterday.
Look at this
latest of the saga.
Look at this picture of John before he went through his change of life. How buttoned up and straight-laced he is.
Oh, my goodness.
He's got his hair cut completely different. He's got a polo with a sweater over it. He looks like a family man.
It was before he went through his white trash midlife crisis.
Uh-huh. Big time. Yeah. Now he's on an ATV with a Affliction T-shirt and a cigarette dangling from his mouth, looking tough. Mm-hmm. He's a tough bitch.
Looking sweaty and out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, man. He looks like a fat slob.
Yeah,
he's losing his hair.
So we have a chance for you to win the 30-gig refurbished iPod from Rapid Repair at rapidrepair.com. I don't know when the last time we played this game was, but I'll bet it's between 4 and 6 years ago. Joe, have we ever played this game since you've been on the show?
Yeah, for sure.
We have?
Yeah.
It's between 3 and 4 years ago. That sound better?
Yeah.
It's between 1 month and 7 years ago. How long ago we played
it has
this?
been a while. I don't.
It's called the Pick Your Poison Challenge. Mm-hmm. Here's how it works. You have to be near your home refrigerator or your workplace refrigerator. You cannot call from your car if you want to win this game.
Yep,
you have to be in a location, home or work. Okay? 1-800-947-3979. Here's how it's going to work. You're going to call in, you're going to list off the contents of your refrigerator. Each of us will choose one thing. You will then mix it into a glass and then consume that mixture. Thus the Pick Your Poison Challenge.
Uh-huh.
If you do that successfully,
yep,
and that doesn't, you don't even have to hold it down.
Yeah, you can barf it up there.
This is a game that rewards effort.
Yeah, we want to hear you barf.
Mm-hmm. But you have to really do it.
Yeah,
and we can tell we're not stupid.
No,
I mean, we are. Let me rephrase that. We're not really stupid. We're pretty stupid, but we're not really stupid. So we can tell if you fake it. But there's a strong reward at the end of this.
Yeah.
I mean, a 30-gig refurbished iPod from Rapid Repair at rapidrepair.com it's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So again, got to be near a refrigerator. How much do you want to bet the first person to go? I'm driving. I'm almost there.
I'm almost there.
Let's hope not.
Mike joins us. Hi, Mike.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
Mike, are you near a refrigerator?
I am going that way right now.
Home or work?
Home. Sorry.
Home. Where are you at right now? Are you like in the bedroom? Or are you in your car?
I am unlocking the door.
Just getting in then.
Yeah, just got off of work.
Worked all night. What do you do, Mike?
Tool and die.
Tool and
All
die.
right.
Okay, working the overnight.
Third shift, man.
Falling asleep.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
Supposed to be
A
sleeping.
little.
All right, Mike. Is there anybody home in your house?
Yes.
Okay. Family's asleep.
Be quiet. Be quiet. You don't want to wake them up,
First thing we need you to do is get a glass out, a good-sized drinking glass, not some juice glass or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, your regular 16-ounce deal.
Set it on the counter next to the refrigerator, and then open up the refrigerator and start giving us the contents. And not just the stuff that's on the shelves in front of you, but the stuff that's on the door and stuff like that.
All right.
Butter.
Frank's Red Hot, beer,
Hold on.
French onion dip, milk, whiskey,
Oh, yeah. Keep it cold.
mustard.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, some syrup.
That's everything?
Liquid-wise, yeah.
Well, what else is
Well,
there?
yeah. What else is
Well, you got any other condiments or
leftovers?
Yeah,
Maybe
we got some squash.
got any ham?
No ham.
Okay.
Some cheese,
Shredded or like squares?
Kraft singles.
singles?
Oh, yeah. That's
Okay. So what I have so far is beer, Frank's Red Hot, which is that like a Tabasco?
Yeah.
Whiskey, mustard, squash, Kraft singles, and milk.
Yeah.
That's everything?
Pretty much.
Are you holding out on us?
No, not really. Nothing
Okay.
else would be edible at this point.
Are you up for this challenge? You're
Of course.
up to speed on what you have to do, and you're going to do it.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay,
Who
great.
wants to pick first? Anybody?
I know what I want to put in there, but it has to be put in after there's already other things in there, so I'm going to defer.
Okay.
With that, I'll pass.
All right. I'm going to start you off if you don't mind, Mike.
Yep.
I would like you to pour a shot of whiskey in the glass.
Gladly.
Make it 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and make it 2.
Put 4 fingers in there.
Yeah, make it double.
Can I do a triple?
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever
okay.
you want.
You leave some room in the glass for other stuff, and you can do whatever you want. You can get a bigger glass if you want.
I might have to.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like I hit Mike's magic elixir with that
Yeah,
one.
apparently. Something tells me this was going to happen one way or another.
Yeah. The only thing difference was I wasn't going to put a Kraft single in it, but fair enough.
I wasn't going to be on the phone.
All right, Mike, you got the whiskey in there?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Okay.
Howing?
I will say I would like you to add about a tablespoon of French onion dip.
Like a heaping
Yeah,
dollop
you
of...
know, yeah, exactly.
Oh, boy.
Good
Whiskey?
wad of it.
I know a lot of days that, I don't drink a lot, but sometimes I'll get the shakes, and the only thing that can stop it is whiskey and French onion dip. Mixed together.
That's looking beautiful right
Yeah.
now.
Okay, good
That's,
start.
Yeah,
Good
you're
start.
saving time that way.
Are these guys in?
No, it was always just the three of us.
Okay,
yeah.
finally, Mike, this is going to add a special touch to the drink that's going to make this something that people want to it's almost like a creation that they'll be able to get at a bar if anyone's listening who tends bar, because they'll be interested in a neat drink that has a gimmicky flair to it. You know how when you take this product, I'll tell you what it is in a second, you're able to ball it up. I want you to take that cheese, that fake Kraft cheese that comes in a pre-wrap, unwrap it, and then ball it up like a ball. So it's about the size of an egg yolk. And then just bloop, drop it in there so that when you mix this all up, and then it will do nothing as part of the mixture, but at some point you'll have to open your mouth wide, get the ball of cheese, and chew it as you swirl the other mixture in your mouth
French
and swallow
onion.
that down.
It's going to be like the shaker ball in a spray paint can.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
The,
that
French
helps
onion dip.
helps
whiskey.
mix it up.
Except
And
you
then
don't normally eat that.
You'll chew that final bit of whiskey, French onion dip laced porridge that is part of it,
Mike,
and consume that, and then throw up.
Mike, do us a favor. Would you stir that up with a spoon, hitting the sides of the glass so we can hear the mixture there?
Yeah, let me see if you guys can hear the cheese drop in too. Hold on.
Okay.
Did you catch that?
Yep, we sure did. It's in there.
All right,
Big ball of cheese.
Give it a stir and describe what you're seeing, please.
All right. Well, the French onion dip is clouding everything.
Oh, it's all load-like.
Yeah.
The cheese is kind of melting.
Melting. Probably disintegrating more. Yeah.
This is like one of those good protein.
What color? Yeah. What color is this goo you're about to ingest?
About the color of lemonade now.
Okay.
Okay. So it's you've got about 3 shots of whiskey.
Yep.
What brand?
Speyburn. It's actually a Scotch.
Okay. And then you have a cheese slice in a ball.
Yeah, in a ball.
And then a tablespoon of French onion dip.
Yes.
Are you guys happy with this mix?
Yeah,
I'm delighted
man.
with it. It sounds delicious.
Mike, are
you want any hats off?
No.
No.
Mike, are you one of those iron gullet guys that can do whatever you want? Like you eat dead fish out of the campfire just to win $1 from your friends?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this game is right up your alley.
You're a crazy, filthy lumberjack is what you are.
All right. Hold the phone up to your face while you're drinking your wonderful cheese dip and whiskey concoction.
In fact, let's think of a name of it. Let's call this a whirly cheese banger.
Okay.
So when you go to the bar, say, I'll have a whirly cheese banger. People will know.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Ready for it?
Do it.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely.
Did you get the cheese down?
No, not yet. That's
Okay.
coming now.
Hurry.
Okay, keep working.
Hurry up.
Oh, God, that melts in your mouth. Oh.
And you chewed the cheese.
It kind of went down whole.
Oh.
Yeah. It got slippery with the dip.
Joe's making a bad face. As traditionally part of this game, we're going to make that same concoction here, and Joe or Steve will drink it.
Oh, boy, I don't know. I don't know if that's traditional.
No, that's not.
Wow, well, I'm actually disappointed. I thought we'd get more of a retch. You seem to have
liked it.
done this well. It's just surprising.
I couldn't drink the whiskey without making more of a noise than he did.
Oh, I could never drink whiskey, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Those
I
people-
had a terrible... Say what?
Greatest drink on earth.
Those people that take whiskey and just sip it,
yeah,
could never do that. That to me, that's like.
Well, that's
that's
the only thing I could do. And when people do shots of it, it makes me just. I mean, everything. I retch.
I kind of like the shots.
Oh, I can't stand shots.
They make me retch, but I kind of like them. 1-800-947-3979.
Wow.
Mike, well done.
I think that's the reason why we stopped doing it, because we had too many of those that
got good at it.
I think you're
could
right.
handle it. It's only good when they barf.
I don't think he cheated. I think he just.
No, I don't either.
He just didn't have a problem with it because a lot of times we'd get the ones that would really go bananas on it, and those were really good.
From now on, we need girls only, because girls aren't as good at that stuff as dudes are.
No, because they're not as faulty in their brains as we are. So
not as accustomed to swallowing.
Good reaction.
What Hot Wings thinks on the way, and when animals attack next, we'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
To get on with the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show, have something interesting to say.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Or be a huge idiot.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwigs.com. What Hot Wings thinks of the end of this segment. Can't stop talking about John and Kate.
Man, I've been going through the USA Today as the show has gone on. There's a lot of things that are worth mentioning. And one of the things I think is, dude, she looks good. In certain poses, she looks terrific.
Yeah, she does. She's got nice legs.
Yeah.
Pretty attractive lady. Certainly too attractive for him.
No question.
This guy's a Neanderthal.
She gave birth to, all those children. And carried all of those children. Like those bikini photos that popped up of her that the paparazzi got a while ago.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, her navel's too high because her doctor botched the tummy tuck.
Mm-hmm.
It made her belly button in between her boobs.
But other than that, I mean, if she wears a one piece, she looks pretty good.
Yeah. Right.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. Tomorrow, producer Joe's Baby Talker Challenge. Joe will be going out and talking like an adult talks to a baby the whole time.
Oh.
And in that annoying way.
We decided yesterday that that's really, really irritating. I don't remember what video we were looking at or whatever. I think it was somebody talking to a pet.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought,
it was that monkey
Yeah, it was
one.
that woman with the monkey
That's
as
what
the
it
daughter.
Yeah, monkey wonky look like a clown.
Oh, I hate
a
you.
clowny
Now I hate
wound.
you. Stop.
Yeah, it's so awful.
I don't feel
God, I hate baby talk.
I don't feel good about myself.
Oh.
I hate when people talk baby talk to a child that's way too old for it. Like, I can live with it if you're talking that way to an infant. I don't get it.
Ooh, I don't even like that, man. That's why some kids end up talking stupid for a while. They learn to speak that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing like when I talk to my son. He's 8 weeks old now. And I raise my voice because he can hear me better than when I speak in a deeper tone. But I still speak in normal words. I don't change L's to W's, and I'm like, hey, little buddy. You know,
L's to W's, so they would say hello.
Hi, hello. Oh, hi, little buddy. You know,
sometimes I'll hear a kid doing that.
God.
Talking all stupid.
Yeah.
My wife is historically not idiotic, but in one instance, whenever she's around her nieces and they go to the lake or a pool, they go simmin'.
Instead of swimming?
Yes.
Simmin'.
And how old are the kids? 2? 1?
This doesn't happen as much now, but when they were 5, 6, 4, way too old for it. And she would say it
Maybe
that
she
way.
was saying semen.
Probably
Is that possible?
not suggesting that my nieces were going to semen.
All right. All right.
Well, they live
maybe.
in pretty rural Nebraska, though. I mean, who knows what goes on in those areas?
They do raise pigs.
Let's go to semen.
1-800-947. Maybe there's a town called Seaman, Nebraska. It's just a stoplight, 4 bars, and a Catholic church.
It's possible.
You know, who do you play Friday night? Seaman?
Oh, boy.
The Dragons.
Yeah.
So when animals attack, this one is it's a variety of stories. Because one, Steve sent a story yesterday of another person who thought that bears were pets, and another person who was killed by a pet bear. A woman in Pennsylvania was cleaning her bear's cage, her 325-pound black bear, 350-pound black bear. Turns out the bear was not a pet. That's why it turned on her and mauled her.
Oh, man. Yeah, no doubt. Who the hell?
She had been keeping the bear as a pet since 2000.
When it was probably very, very young.
Yeah, absolutely. They said it was not a free-roaming bear, so there was no danger to the public, just to anyone who would go into the cage, you know, like the lady who owned it. I wonder if after a while, if you're that person, you just sort of get so comfortable with them that you think, oh, yeah, it's fine. It would never hurt me. I suppose it's the same thing as when someone's dog turns on them from time to time.
I'm sure. But, my God, you know, I mean, there are certain things that, I mean, when you know that occasionally domesticated animals can turn on you, you know, even if you approach, like, the most docile dog in the world the wrong way, sometimes they might just snap real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, they may not, like, try to maul you, but they snap. And they're domesticated and are pleasant to be around. You can't take a wild animal, and just because you feed it with a bottle for a while, when it becomes 350 pounds and 10 years old, I don't know, it might just decide to claw your face off.
Yeah. I was reading yesterday about a 30-year-old experiment that was started by the Soviets and then continued by the Russians. And they wanted to see if they could create newly domesticated animals just by simply breeding the super aggressive ones with other super aggressive ones, and by making the ones that were very docile by breeding them. And so they took a bunch of, I think it was silver foxes, and they took all of the ones that seemed to be more friendly than the other ones, because they were all still wild animals.
Yeah.
And they bred them, and then each generation they would breed the friendliest of them together. And over 30 years, this guy just went, he was doing a column about it. It was a scientist who went and visited because he wanted to check the progress. Over 30 years now, these foxes that if you saw them 30 years ago, and if you saw one in the wild, they would run from you. They may even bite you if you cornered them or whatever. They were crawling inside his shirt, and they were friendly like a cat or a dog.
Yeah.
Conversely, to test the experiment, they took rats, lab rats that had been like the kind someone might buy in a store.
Yeah.
Where they're fairly friendly and you'd keep them as a pet. and they took the most aggressive ones, and they would continue breeding them over and over again. And he said that he thought if left in the room and 2 or 3 of them got out, that it would be all he could handle to fight them off and not be badly injured by these really pissed off rats.
Wow.
Just over 30 years that change happened. Not really anything to do with a bear attacking a lady. Just I thought it was pretty interesting.
Well, it is interesting.
That they're doing that kind of experiments. It's actually this organization, this scientific organization, has made it a goal to domesticate zebras. That's one of their goals, and apparently zebras are notoriously stubborn and unwilling to be socialized. Nice goal, I suppose.
Breed him with a bunny. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, exactly. Don't we have enough animals that we can have as pets?
In this case, this animal looks like a pet. It looks fuzzy and awesome. Raccoons, but apparently gangs of raccoons are roaming and trying to hurt old ladies.
Listen to this.
Oh, no.
This story.
74-year-old woman is recovering this afternoon after what's being called a gang attack by raccoons. 10 Connect's Bo Zimmer has more on what happened and why many in Polk County are now very concerned.
No, they're not.
They may look cute, but residents in this Lakeland neighborhood worry a family of raccoons caught on camera phone may have lost their fear of humans following the attack of a 74-year-old woman trying to shoo the animals off her front.
Nothing that looks that punchable could ever be threatening. Are you serious? Come on.
Doorstep.
Not in all of my years of being born and raised
This
in
is the
Florida
sheriff.
known of a gang attack by raccoons on an individual.
Attack. Oh, my God. It's like
different.
the accused.
Were they like wearing bling? Did they like put it to her?
They drove by in an old Catalina and shot at the lady.
Yeah.
Judge says the victim is recovering from her wounds at Lakeland Regional Medical Center.
But when she fell down, they enveloped her. She's literally bitten and scratched from the face and chest all the way down through the legs. She has severe gashes on her legs.
A neighbor heard the victim's screams and ran across the street to help.
What did she do? Just lay there and say, "Oh, keep biting me"? How hard is it to fend off a 20-pound raccoon?
I think if there were 4 of them, though.
Well, and
she's old.
She's old. She's a fossil.
One of them probably
tone.
threw her medic alert bracelet into the street. She couldn't get it.
Yeah, she probably got rickety bones. Never ate Boniva.
Deep lacerations. I mean, you could see flesh. You could see deep inside the wounds.
Witnesses last saw the raccoons escaping into a storm drain. Sunday, animal control officers fanned out, placing traps across the neighborhood.
Attack and run.
It's kind of like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Even if we capture a lot of raccoons tonight, that they are our suspect raccoons.
For now, the sheriff wants...
They got to stop using that type of terminology for the story. Gangs and suspects.
They make it seem like it was a coordinated attack, and they're actually... It's like the rise of the dolphins on The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's finally happening.
Residents on alert, aware these raccoons may be more dangerous than they seem.
If they've attacked once, if someone frightens them, will they attack again? It's unusual.
In Lakeland, Bo Zimmer, 10 Connects.
It's unusual.
Well, the raccoons were last seen running into a storm drain. If caught, they will be tested for rabies. Now, the woman who was attacked is recovering at Lakeland Regional Medical Center.
This stuff only seems to happen in Florida. I mean, every state, as far as I'm aware, every state in the union has raccoons, and yet somehow it's in Florida.
A gang raccoon attack.
A gang attack, yeah.
This is very unusual. That's why we're going to overreact and treat this as though it's going to happen 100 times again today.
Everybody should lock themselves inside of their homes.
Yeah, I mean, this seems fairly simple in this particular case. Okay, you've got some overly aggressive raccoons. Leave some garbage out at the scene of the crime, and then when these 4 show up, shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
End of awful attacking raccoon problem.
Right. I have a second idea. If there are 4 raccoons on your porch, don't go out with a broom and try to shoo them away.
Yeah, I would never. I mean, usually raccoons will run. They're not usually ones that would attack you like that. But I still would not confront a raccoon. I mean, they're a wild animal with claws and teeth.
They're very puntable. They're low to the ground. You can just kick them. Mm-hmm. Do like Jan Stenerud, kick them at least 60 yards. Easy. Piece of cake.
I will call you to my house next time I see a raccoon.
But only if they're aggressive. Because some raccoons are not aggressive and gang attacking people. Mm-hmm. They're just sitting there minding their own business. I don't care how many aggressive raccoons there are. I think I can attack and kill at least 100 at once.
This is they're going to have to create a website. How many fifth graders could you take?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very similar to that.
5-year-olds, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's what Hot Wings thinks. Hot Wings. What Hot Wings thinks.
Free Beer Zane and listeners, John and Kate Gosselin may be the stupidest, whiniest, most self-absorbed pseudo-celebrities I have ever seen. They make me laugh with their back-and-forth accusations and claims that border on the ridiculous to anyone with a normal functioning brain.
Yeah.
Since they find it necessary to take turns going on talk shows to talk about each other, yesterday was Kate's turn. Mm-hmm. Ice Queen and her new mud flap haircut graced the set of the Today Show for at least the 30th time to talk about dopey-faced John and her sadness over his recent behavior. Mm-hmm. This time related to the claim that he took $230 of the $231,000 that they had in their joint account, leaving her with just $1,000. Okay, if that's true, he's a scumbag. But $230,000, while a lot of money, should be a drop in the bucket for Kate. I mean, come on. She actually cried to Meredith Vieira and said, I have a stack of bills in my purse I can't put in the mail. I need that money to provide for the kids. Oh, yeah, I'm sure her kids might just up and starve. I might also forget how to tie my shoes today. You're telling me and the rest of America that that's the only money you had?
Yeah.
I'd say that's about as likely as discovering cat poop tastes like donuts. You know how much, I would like to know how much money they make an episode. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know. How much has she made off appearances and book deals? How about the money she's gotten for cover stories and interviews? If she thinks that anyone feels bad because John, the world's worst tweener, may have taken some money, we don't. Quit your crying. He's an ass, you're an ass, your kids are doomed, end of story. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show is next. Sure, you may think these guys suck.
This is so absurd. I would rather have sex with an animal than a real doll. Wait a minute, I should have said that.
You would?
But you're the one listening to them.
At freebeerandhotwings.com, a number of different videos and links and everything else that you can see. Thank you, Joe. Coming up in the next segment, Joe sent a link for a trailer for a movie that'll probably get a lot of hype. You've probably already seen posters for it if you've been to a movie theater lately.
The 2012?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Joe sent a link for the trailer yesterday. Did you watch it, Zane?
I had seen it on TV.
You did? Have you seen it?
I haven't. No, I didn't have a chance to look at it.
It looks. I love End of the World movies, man.
I know. I saw a trailer for it a while back, but I don't remember it that well.
You liked it?
Well, I like those types.
I do too.
I
love disaster
movies. It's one of my favorite genres of movie is End of the World and monster movies.
Maybe it's just me then, but the trailer looked like they were accidentally being funny. When I watched it this morning.
They might have been. You could have had Gallagher and Richard Pryor on there, and I wouldn't have laughed because I would have been like, yeah, End of the World movie.
I don't think they were trying to be funny. Now, people who like this genre of and I kind of like this style of movie, so, I like movies like Deep Impact and some of those other ones. That one a couple years ago where everything went wrong.
With the weather?
Yeah. What was that one called?
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Yes, it was.
That sucked.
It was awesome. Are you kidding me?
No, that was...
It was great.
That was really, really bad.
Love that
movie. Well, then you may like this one, but, man, when I saw the trailer, it was like they were doing a gag, a spoof of End of the World movies, because it seemed so ridiculous. John Cusack is one of the stars of this movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is awesome.
And we may have to watch now. It's a 5.5-minute trailer. It was actually it's not even a trailer. It's a scene from the movie.
I see.
So it's not cut up or anything. And it was so. I mean, all end-of-the-world movies, and I have no problem with things being implausible in movies. But this was a little bit, whatever's worse than implausible. It's not even able to suspend disbelief, but we'll get to that coming up next.
Okay. All right.
How much do you use the microwave here at the radio station very often?
Occasionally.
Did you notice the new note that was on it?
I did not. No, I haven't used it in a few days.
I used it today. I did not see it.
Didn't see it? It's very small. I hope you were considerate, because this note asks for consideration.
Okay, what does it say?
We got a lot of little notes in there.
To all staff, please be considerate and clear the remaining time from the microwave when you're done using it. If we all do our part to keep things orderly in the kitchen, we will all be happier.
Clear the time?
So when there's time remaining and you just pop the door open, if you don't set it back to 0, someone's day is going to be wrecked?
Does that affect things?
No. No, it only affects whoever's next who has to
press clear,
go clear and then hit popcorn.
Really?
Hot Wings, according to this note, if it only affects one person, it affects the world. Because that is being inconsiderate. If you leave something behind for the next person to take care of, Hot Wings.
This is the gayest workplace in America.
It is. No,
I hate this place.
It's only rude and rotten and affects someone else if what you leave behind is caked on ravioli throughout the entire thing, or if you microwave an entire catfish, that would be rotten. Mm-hmm. Leaving 10 seconds on the timer is not a problem. That should not.
No, Hot Wings, you're wrong. This note says you're wrong.
That should not
be
a
problem.
This note
actually, maybe you didn't hear it. It says, please be considerate. Do you want to be inconsiderate?
Yes, if that is what it takes.
Do you remember the time when someone got bent out of shape because of the mess being left in the sink and took all the plates and silverware and we became like silverware Nazi and kept them, actually took the plates out of the cabinet. I mean, in hindsight, does this not sound like the most ridiculous thing?
It seems like something that would have happened on the TV show The Office.
Somebody was bent out of shape because there was a mess and went in, took all of the plates and bowls, everything,
cleared it out.
Vases.
And because let's be clear, Joe would have drank out of a vase if he. I think you have, haven't you, Joe?
No,
haven't
but
you
I
used?
would.
You would, because I mean every day you have cereal out of a plastic cup because there are no more bowls here.
Dude, I'll use plates and spatulas for cereal if I have to.
And hid them.
Yes.
So we were like, and everybody just ignored it and let it work through the person's system over a period of time, and eventually they came back because our punishment was over. Oh, goody!
Yeah, that really seems like something Dwight would do on the TV show The Office. Where, Dwight, can I have a plate? No, you may not.
Yeah, you get a few dirty dishes, and it's the end of the world. But they can overlook the fact that all the doors are falling off of the cabinets. I know. I got a good idea. Have somebody fix those. Tighten the screws.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. The idea that someone was so irritated. This is what amazes me.
That's a weird pet peeve right there, man. That is some.
Everybody has those tiny pet peeves of stuff that happens, and you kind of look at it and you go, God, that's annoying. And then you think to yourself, not annoying enough for me to ever share that with anyone, because I can probably just hit the clear button. Like I've never even thought of that.
No, that's never occurred to me in my whole life.
I can't remember the last time in my house that my wife or I used the microwave and whoever was using it didn't have to do that, because we both do it all the time. You hit door open, you take it out, you take your food, you close the door, you leave. It says 8 seconds remaining, 38 seconds remaining, whatever it is. I've never looked at it and went, oh, God, how can I do this? I was going to eat spaghetti, but now I'm busy hitting reset. Now the food's cold.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of times when I take something out of the microwave, I do hit reset. But if I walk by and I forgot, or my wife did, as I'm walking by, I go, beep. And, I mean, who cares?
This is terrible news, Hot Wings. You and your wife are going to get divorced.
Let's
Probably.
Face it.
This is really serious.
Microwaves only need two things: a door open, door close latch, and a popcorn button. You hit popcorn button, you let it go for however long, and then that's it.
Yeah, because frankly, you can cook anything with the popcorn setting anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's easy. I have a far bigger problem with somebody here, and I don't know who it is, but it's somebody during the morning who has taken it upon themselves to save the environment by not flushing the toilet when they pee.
Boy.
What?
Dude,
This happens all the time, and it just happened to me just now. I go in there, and there's pee in the toilet.
Well, Hot Wings, I don't know if you're familiar with the old axiom: if it's yellow, let it mellow; if it's brown, flush it down.
Oh no, I'm familiar with it, and that's fine if some do-gooder wants to save the environment and water supply at their own house. But you don't do that at work. You don't leave your urine just floating there for the next person to come by, and it's especially awful when the bathroom right next door, if someone's using that when they flush the toilet, the other toilet burbles up.
It does.
Like a little volcano.
That seems like a problem, by the way.
Oh, it's disgusting, and I think that is some sort of a plumbing issue. But so I don't know who that is, but it's somebody in the morning when only the morning shows are here.
I blame Chuck for everything.
I blame the guy who wears sandals year-round.
Yeah,
and talks like, hey, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's
maybe
Chuck.
it's not Chuck.
Chuck strikes me more as the type that would pee in the sink as opposed to not flushing the toilet.
Oh.
Sweetness times 10.
You think it's Barnaby, huh?
Well, Joe, I think the only way to settle that is the next time it happens, take one of those vases from the kitchen and throw a vase full of it in his face.
It's whack.
I would love to do that.
1-800-947-3979. Your workplace feud.
Yeah,
if you have one, or if you're the person that thinks this microwave thing is a big deal, because it's clear all of us are on the same page.
I'm going to go write a note on the note.
I'm going to go set the thing for 30 seconds, let it go 1 second, and stop it.
I'm going to write a note on the note. I'm going to write something insulting. You're stupid.
If you're just tuning in, this note said, please be considerate and clear the remaining time for the microwave when you're done using it.
Yeah.
If we all do our part to keep things orderly in the kitchen, we will all be happier.
I'm going to write, please be considerate and F off.
We got this email. It says, time left on the microwave is one of my pet peeves. I'll clear it off at other people's homes even.
Ooh. Well, and that's fine, but don't bitch about it. I mean, if you want to clear it, clear it. Who cares?
Be considerate.
You're pressing one button.
You're a dork.
This one, somebody actually sent a picture of a note, and I think this is part of an email forward. It says, Dear Sinner, I specifically wrote on the box of Starbucks Frappuccino bars, don't touch. But did that stop you? No, instead you took the liberty of taking my last one.
Well, that's a problem.
I expect to see one in replace of the one you took by the end of the week. I know who you are, so if you don't, I'll go to CRE about it. Love, Ashley.
That's actually, appropriate.
Yeah, you can't.
I used to do that. You guys, I actually can't believe I used to engage in that behavior, take people's food.
And by the way, it's 100 times worse to take the last one. If there's 4 left and you take one, still awful. You're still stealing.
Yeah.
But taking the last one.
Well, the whole point to stealing other people's stuff is to only steal it when they have enough that you can get away with them not noticing.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Like the Kit Kats in promotions. It's okay to take them right now because the box is filled to the brim. When there's 9 left, I will not touch them because when you can see the number getting smaller, no big deal. But right now, handfuls are disappearing at 4 a.m. every day. Sometimes 2 handfuls.
Yeah,
I bring my own stool from the outside. 1, 2. Here I go. Sometimes I throw some out just because I can.
But you had told them you were going to do that, right?
I did. That didn't go over very well.
Well,
I actually was given permission
from.
I was given permission by one person in promotions who said, you know what? There's a whole bunch of them. You can have as many as you want. And I actually said, you know what? I don't know if that's a good idea because my willpower is not strong. Someone else in the office did not feel the same way as the first guy. Katie joins us. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Listening on the buzz. Katie, are you the office kitchen
Nazi?
Are you the kitchen Nazi?
I am the kitchen Nazi.
Okay, why are you such a busybody?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because everybody, I can't say everybody, but, I mean, after lunch, there are dirty plates and cups and coffee cups and napkins and everything in the sink. And I will try my hardest to wait 2 or 3 days before I say something about it. But 2 or 3 days with dirty dishes in the sink.
Well, they know you're going to do it.
I know, and it bugs me.
Yeah, it's sort of it's kind of a bad cycle, Katie, because you actually it's bad for you to care because no one else cares. Now I can see why you care, and it sucks that people leave their stuff in the sink. But the fact that you're the one who goes, oh man, this sucks.
I have a problem. I mean, if the dishes are dirty. More times than not, I will always put my dirty dishes in there at work. If it's during the show, if we're on the air, and the dishes in the dishwasher are clean, I will absolutely not put it in the dishwasher because I don't have time in a commercial break.
Right. I'm with you.
And that needs to be understood. And if we're off of the air and I have a dish that I want to get rid of and the dishes are clean, same scenario, I will walk out of the break room with the dish and not put it in the sink and put it at my desk.
I do the same thing.
And wait until the dishes are dirty.
Yes. Now I don't want to ever clean my dishes or anyone else's here, so I brought paper plates. I have a stack of 500 paper plates in the office.
Yeah, like this. Right here that I ate that omelet on.
Yeah.
We do too, but we have community regular plates and regular bowls. And
yeah, so do we.
Yeah, so do we.
But we don't have a dishwasher.
That's the problem.
That changes everything.
Oh, well then,
So
your
I have
office
to
should just
wash
throw that
everything
out.
by hand.
No, don't do it, Katie. Do what I do. If they're left in there, throw them in the trash. When they're gone, they won't be in there anymore.
I've like brought that up to a coworker, a really good friend of mine. I'm like, I just want to throw these away.
Well, do
Why
it.
do that?
Katie,
Just do it.
It feels liberating, not going to lie.
Katie, what do you do? I mean, what line of work are you in a general?
I work in a medical office.
Okay, medical.
Oh, my God.
And what do you do specifically at the medical office?
I'm in the billing department.
Billing.
Okay, so really you don't do anything. So why don't you just do them yourself?
You don't do anything.
Because I said she was president.
Yeah.
You don't do it.
I'm operating on a body right now, so you're
not
do anything.
You're not very
Katie,
busy.
Katie, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now, if you're the person that bothers, and you can say all you want, I'm not going to let it bother me anymore, but it does. We got this email from an anonymous coworker. Quote, the most important part of every day at any radio station operation is kitchen cleanliness. Also, hopes and dreams coins. We all know that. Hopes and dreams coins were something we were all getting for a while.
That was another gay thing that went down here. They had this attaboy club. Like if somebody helped you, you would write down, so and so helped me today, and you'd get a coin for it.
They did their job.
Oh, it's so stupid. I hate this place.
You don't hate this place. In a moment, the worst movie trailer ever. Except Zane will love it. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
He knows he's healthy coming off the back injury, but his ball seemed to be a little high.
Terrell Suggs hit Rivers just as he released.
I think this is a real important drive for this Denver offense, and just being able to give their defense a little bit of a blow.
Why do they say that? Why do
I don't
jocks
know.
say, God, I'm tired, man. Or that guy's tired. I think he needs a blow. Of all the things to say.
Why can't they just say rest?
I'm going to start saying
Come on
that
out of the game.
I'm going to start saying that at pickup basketball tonight. Because if we have 9 guys, we play on 4-on-4. At some point, you're going to sit. Instead of saying, "Hey, I'm out," I'm going to say, "Whoa, I need a blow."
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I could effectively say that at any time during the day.
Hey, Dave,
for anything I'm doing.
Right.
Hey, Dave, you're in. I need a blow.
I'm going to do that to the boss. Say, hey, boss, man, been a tough show today. I'm tired. I could use a blow.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, boss? You going to give me one? Boss, look, I can't work tired. I need a blow.
Mm-hmm.
Will you please give me a blow?
I'm worn out. The only thing that would pick me up is a good blow.
Mm-hmm. I'll be down in my car getting one.
No, taking one.
Taking
Can't say getting one.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I could use a blow.
That's what I'd say. Boss, I could use a blow.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long since I had one.
If I have to go to the bathroom to get one, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it takes to get a blow, I'm going to get it.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this hour, a friend of mine was sharing a scenario that he went from feeling like he was casually flirting, and he's married, so not with the intention of doing anything inappropriate, but casually flirting. And then all of a sudden, he realized that he was old, and she thought of him as being old.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
It's a bad scenario.
Mm-hmm.
For him.
Yeah.
And also will encourage, especially if you're ladies of a certain age, you to share that story, because I think there are plenty of guys older than us, in their 50s and even, that think they still have it and would be shocked to learn that the girl they're flirting with, who's in her 20s, thinks they're old and pathetic.
Oh, of course.
Because you know that happens.
All the time, I'm sure.
But wait till you hear this guy's scenario. In fact, it may hit close to home for a lot of people. In fact, he's the same age. He's 37, the guy that this happened to. Hot Wings, you'll be 37 in a month and a half.
Yeah.
Zane, you're 39. I'll be 37 in June, so I mean, this might as well be us.
Yeah.
Except I don't know that I would believe this would be happening to me anyway, so I probably have given up on this hope. So the movie 2012 is coming out in theaters November 13th of this year. It stars John Cusack. It's big budget, end of the world kind of movie. Zane, you've said that you really like this kind of movie, and certainly a lot of people do. There's reason to believe this is going to be a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
Though the fact that it's coming out in the fall is kind of a bad sign. Normally, if this kind of movie is really believed in by the studio, they'll push it out in the summer during the big blockbuster times. But that doesn't mean that there's plenty of surprises in the movie world, so there's no reason to believe this is going to be anything other than a hit.
It's tough for me to be critical of an end-of-the-world movie. I saw the film with Keanu Reeves called The Day the Earth Stood Still. Man, that thing started out okay and then became the biggest piece of crap.
Yeah.
I hated that one. Actually, in all seriousness, The Day After Tomorrow or whatever it was, that was actually a miserable, miserable movie. But just the specter of all those things happening to the Earth and people turning to solid blocks of ice because it's so crazy cold.
Yeah, that could have been cool.
Now
that was almost a cool movie.
That's one of the aspects I like about the TV show Flash Forward is the fact that what happened, I mean, it's very unlikely, but the fact that the event that they're talking about, where everybody blacked out and saw 6 months in the future, happened to all 7 billion people on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's part of what's fascinating. So that one, even though it's unlikely, it's still well done. This one, when I saw this scene from 2012 that Joe forwarded, and Joe, you said the same thing. You thought this movie was accidentally funny. Like they didn't set out for it to be a tongue-in-cheek thrill ride. They set out for it to be terrifying, but it's accidentally funny because of how ridiculous it is. Is that your sense? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, that's pretty much what I think. It looks like a bad internet video.
It really does, with really, really good, pretty good special effects. So it starts, the male actor you'll hear at the beginning is John Cusack. I believe the female is Zooey Deschanel. Is that right?
Zoe.
She's fat,
what did
so
I
they
say?
call her Doughy.
I thought you said Doughy.
You did say Doughy.
Wow, that's amazing. I was like, why is everyone repeating the same effing thing that I said?
Is this a hot new star called Doughy Deschanel?
Maybe she's pregnant.
Doughy. Poor Doughy.
The first guy is Don Dusak.
All right, Don Dusak.
Don Dusak.
Doughy Deschanel.
I believe it's Con Jusak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go.
Starts at home.
Hello?
Picking up the phone.
Is that Doughy right there?
That's Doughy. She's answering the phone in her nicely done home.
Kate, stop what you're doing.
Jackson?
Listen to me. I've rented a plane. Pack up the kids. I'm going to be there in 5 minutes.
What are you talking about?
He knows something, doesn't he?
California is going down.
God, you sound like a crazy person. The governor just said we're fine now.
The guy's an actor. He's reading.
Wait till you see the caricature of the governor. This is so stupid. This is the worst. It's like they got one of us to be the governor, which clearly is a reference to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
A script. When they tell you not to panic, that's when you run.
He's driving a limo to the house, by the way.
Yeah.
Is he a government guy to begin with?
I don't know. He might be a limo driver.
Beautiful state of Mommy, why is Daddy so crazy?
I can hear him.
The most severe hit in Los Angeles.
Finish your pancakes.
It seems to me that the worst is over.
I wish
Oh my God, what an amazing coincidence. Right when he said that, the building shook.
Yep. Earthquake. Big earthquake.
Of course, the daughter stops to look back to see the house collapsing. The entire world is collapsing. Amazingly, the only part of Los Angeles that didn't collapse is the 12 by 12 stretch of road where their limo sat.
You are ruining this awesome movie for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch this.
This is a great movie.
How did they have time to put their seatbelts on?
Wait a minute. You're the one who, I forget at what movie we were watching, Cloverfield or something like that. You bitched at Ernie for not suspending belief or disbelief. I forgot how you turned it.
No, my problem was that he was willing to suspend belief that monsters were able to come to Earth, but wasn't able to believe that a building could lean on its side. Either you have to commit to it fully or not at all. In this case, I am choosing 0%.
Okay.
I just think that's some of the poorest acting I've ever seen in my life.
That's
my
problem.
Action movie acting.
No,
I mean,
it's
what
not.
do you?
It's worse.
When was the last time you saw anybody win an Oscar for their acting in a disaster movie?
I see. At this point, we're a minute 16. I've seen nothing at fault with this yet.
Yeah, this all just seems like normal disaster
Siskel and
movie
Ebert
stuff.
here decided to be able to think they have some ability to pick movies apart.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about? Just because you see a few movies doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. You guys are stupid.
What? I can't pick out bad acting?
It's a minute into it. There hasn't even been any acting.
Well, but we've seen more
Get out of the house!
You know, when they say it's crazy, that's when you have to be sad.
Oh, I don't know when you guys are ruining
I don't
this
know.
here.
Zane and I are going to see this. Not you guys.
Oh my God! You hear they said, "Get out of the way, Hot
That was
Wings."
so fake.
He sounded
You'd never
panicked.
say that.
Did you hear how crazy he sounded? Mm-hmm. He's a horrible actor.
I mean, if he was serious, he'd have sworn to.
I know it. Did you believe how stupid he was when he said, "Get out of the way" when that car was in his way? I mean, I wouldn't have said that.
Hey,
Clearly, he's a terrible actor.
If you guys want to hitch your wagon to this poorly done movie, go ahead. Joe and I will be sitting in the area of expertise.
Roland Emmerich is my king. You shut up.
You thought her name was Doey, for God's sake. Shut the F up.
Yeah, well, you
stupid idiot.
You claim the Day After Tomorrow was a good flick in the last segment.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, stop that car. The ground is rising up while they're trying to drive their crazy limo.
It's a massive earthquake.
Okay. Seriously, a giant donut just rolled across the street and nearly crushed their car. That does not do a lot to enhance the credibility of this action sequence.
Are you telling me there's no
giant
such thing
donut?
It's a business that sells donuts, and they have a great big sign, and it's an earthquake. What did you want?
I mean, haven't you ever seen the Lard Lad donut holder there in The Simpsons?
Right, on the cartoon? Yeah, I have.
Well, I mean,
you've got to have that. That's a nod.
Signs fall during earthquakes.
I know. I know that I have some friends and family in an earthquake and in California, and whenever there's an earthquake, I'll call them and I'll say, "My God, just tell me you weren't by Randy's Donuts. Are you okay?"
And
they'll say, "No, I was near some other place, and I know they're safe."
You are would be the two worst filmmakers ever.
We'll take the freeway. It'll be half the time.
Oh no, they can't take the freeway.
The freeway's collapsed. Cars are falling everywhere.
This is like Bay Bridge.
Yeah. That was a nice explosion.
Why did that concrete truck explode like it was filled with gasoline?
I am shocked at your cynicism. I never thought you'd become this.
I am shocked at your simplicity.
Yeah, this is a popcorn movie. This isn't meant to be Shakespeare here. This is,
I'm not
you're going to
suggesting-
get bad. These movies always have bad acting in them. I mean, did you ever see Armageddon? It was filled with terrible acting, but it was still amusing and entertaining,
but not good.
Yeah, no one would call that movie good.
That was okay. I mean, we're not suggesting it's Shakespeare. Let's not confuse this. There are plenty of good action movies that I would say that Joe and I know that I really liked. This is a turd that you and Zane are willing to polish into something more than it is.
I'm not saying that. I haven't seen enough to be able to determine if this movie sucks or not. You guys are everything that happens on this screen. Oh, look at that! It's daytime. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to be on the par with
Look at that, a car.
Armageddon. Not good acting, not a terribly great story, but entertaining and fun. And there's explosions. And you guys are talking like it's like the suckiest movie in the world.
What? Those don't happen during earthquakes.
It is going to be the worst movie in the world.
No. At one point, maybe it will be. I mean, The Day After Tomorrow seemed like it would be good, and it was terrible. Mm-hmm. Also, a Roland Emmerich film. No surprise there, but that's the kind of movies he makes, and some are turds, and some are bigger turds. But
in a moment, how did you turn old before your very eyes?
I just did.
And from the ladies, especially if you're under 30 or so, when did you see the old man being old in front of you without knowing it? We'd love that story. 1-800-947-3979. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Here comes that pressure. Incomplete. He had an eye on Johnson.
Tonight shows you some of his skill in the hole.
They can't afford to have this thing shoved down their throat.
There they are, Rice, McGahee, and McLean already sharing the load.
Yeah.
LaMichael James squirts through just a small crack. That's all he needs.
So we might have to spend a little more time on this movie 2012. First of all, it was not, as I said, Zoe Deschanel or Zoe Deschanel, but rather Amanda Peet. Or Pamanda Meat, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
Oh, no.
So that was wrong. But I saw this email, and now you're welcome to like this movie. Joe and I just said that the acting seemed awful and the effects were okay. Clay writes, Free Bear said he liked Deep Impact. Tell him to shut up. That's right, Clay. If I like that movie, I must like all other action movies. That doesn't make sense.
No, that's true. That's a written down thing.
But the question remains, we were talking about it a little bit during the break, part of the reason they're making this movie and why it's getting a lot of hype and why I suspect it will probably make a lot of money is because there are some people who believe the Earth really will end in 2012 because of a variety of calendars apparently have indicators, most notably the Mayan calendar.
That specifically is the big 2012 one, and that's a huge topic of fodder on Coast to Coast AM in the middle of the night when I drive into work.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it comes up all the time. A lot of people talk about
George Norrie does that show, right?
It is George Norrie now.
It used to be Art Bell. Whatever happened to that guy?
I think he just retired.
How do you retire from that?
Got tired of living in the trailer in the middle of Nevada?
Mm-hmm. Deep underground.
Mystery line.
Yeah, there's a mystery line.
1-800-947-3979. If you truly in your heart believe that in 2012 the world will end.
Yeah, let's get some wacko on the phone.
And maybe it's not you truly believe it with 100% certainty because no one can truly believe in something with 100% certainty when there comes to predicting the future like that. But maybe it's something that in your quiet hours as you're falling asleep, you think to yourself, I think that could be legit.
Yeah, maybe you fret about it. You actually are worried.
I would like that phone call because you might change my mind. You might convince me. 1-800-947-3979 if you think that's part of the deal. Because there are, and certainly the Mayan calendar is the big one, but there are other indicators that all point to 2012, and that's what's giving it a little more hype than normal.
There's indicators?
You know how people are.
Well, is it all hocus-pocus indicators?
In my mind,
the bark is off the side of the trees in the Mayan forest or whatever.
Well, that's the thing.
Isn't the thing about the Mayan calendar, it's not that the Mayan calendar said the world's going to end. The calendar it stopped. They
ran out of room. What do you expect?
But they were supposed to make an infinite calendar on stone tablets or whatever they were doing. That seems, at some point they're going to run out. No one looked at the not necessarily gay calendar that Hot Wings and Joe were in and went, oh, no, December 31st, 2009. That must be the day the world ends because this calendar stops.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, did it ever occur to anybody that those would be ancient writings and an ancient calendar system and that maybe when they found those calendars, they just didn't find the other ones? Maybe they got smashed.
Or maybe they said on December 15th, 2009 or 2012, on to-do list, it said, make new calendars for next millennium.
Yep.
Or doesn't anyone
add to it?
Think about the fact that those people were stupid? Really stupid people. They used to sacrifice people.
Well, yeah, it's a good point. We probably wouldn't take their word for it on a lot of other things that were going on.
You might as well just say, for the record, you are smarter than anyone who is Mayan.
I will say that for a fact. Absolutely.
Does anyone listening that is Mayan, Joe's smarter than you.
Well, not a lot of Mayans hanging around these days. But
the only thing you could beat Joe at is making a knife out of a rock.
Go back to Maya or wherever you're from.
Back to Maya, you said.
I love that place.
I think we should do an Eric Zane impromptu book report on everything he knows about the Mayan civilization.
All I know is that they didn't build their pyramids right. They weren't straight up and down the right way the Egyptians did it.
Straight up and down.
You know, like a triangle or pyramid shape.
How did they do it?
And best described as straight up and down.
Well, didn't they have the Egyptians had flush sides? They were flat-sided, and they would come to a point. As the Mayans were stepped, and that means that they're done wrong because they don't look as cool as the Egyptians.
They don't. I do agree. I don't think they look as cool.
When it comes to the
they're not as mysterious.
It's a little bit different.
It looks like a stupid house.
Nice A-frame, loser.
Yeah.
Chad joins us listening on the Buzz in Nashville. Hi, Chad.
Hey, how you doing?
Do you think it's likely, it's possible, or it's ridiculous?
I wouldn't say likely, but I would say possible because there's I've been watching the History Channel a lot at night before I go to sleep and everything, and they talk about the Mayan calendar, of course, and then they also have this Nostradamus guy.
Yeah, the Nostradamus guy.
And apparently he's pretty big on 2012. Is something about the planets becoming aligned on December 23rd, 2012, and then.
So when you say,
wow, very compelling.
So Chad, when you say you think it's possible, do you mean in the same kind of way that it's possible the world could end today? Or do you mean in the kind of way that come November and December of 2012, you're going to spend all of your money, quit your job, and try to bone as much as you can?
Yeah.
No, not to that effect. Not to that effect. I just said it would be more likely in 2012 than it would be tomorrow.
Why? But why, though?
They said something about some gamma ray bursts that could happen way out in the universe.
I'm sad that you can vote, frankly. That's what I've learned here.
Thank you, Chad.
Can I just say that
gamma rays
of all the idiots in all the idiot villages, in all the idiot worlds, you stand alone, my friend.
I'm a dumbass.
I'm not more scared than I was a moment ago. I did not find myself becoming convinced that we're on the verge of it. Beth in Kalamazoo, you used to believe in it, but now you do not. Why did you used to believe in it?
Well, I used to work third shift and listen to AM Coast to Coast constantly. And, and for a while, that's all they talked about, and I flipped out. And, my boyfriend at the time made me stop listening to it. And then after a couple of years and then going back to it, it's just all crap. The Mayans made tons of calendars, and they made many calendars consisting on disasters. And that's not the only one that ends on 2012. There's ones that end in, 2025 and, 3015. And a bunch of other stuff, so they just pick some random calendar. Yeah. And Nostradamus predicted tons of things past 2012 that would end the world.
Right. And there's been about 1 billion end-of-the-world predictions that haven't come true over the years. I mean, that's a cottage industry.
It reminds me of Y2K. Everyone flipped out about Y2K, and it was this huge deal, and nothing happened.
Yeah, well, and it's been predicted, I think, a number of times that, each turn of a new millennium, Jesus was going to come back and everyone was going to get judged and, and the world was going to burn. And
so if something happens, it happens. But I think it's dumb that they're freaking everybody out over it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe a few people are. By the way, if she said she was listening to that Coast to Coast show in the middle of the night for a couple of years and then quit, how long have they been talking about this 2012
Oh, for
thing?
A long time.
They started ramping up in 1998 or what?
I don't know when they started, but I'll flip over to it, 2 times a week or something. And the thing is,
you're a fan. I don't believe you.
I actually do enjoy. Well, I enjoy it because I enjoy science fiction, and so it's fun to listen to. And occasionally you get dopey, crazy idiot callers who don't know what the hell they're talking about. But he'll have guests on who do sound like they know what they're talking about. So it can get you a little bit keyed up. You go, what? You'd spend 5 minutes actually going, no, that's just stupid, and then you shake it off. But if you're a little bit more gullible, I can see how you would get really absorbed and wrapped up in some of those experts that they have on there that really sound like they know what they're talking about. But
now we can find people that are listening to the show. Like when it's very rare that we have a topic where we don't find someone who enjoys it. Like if we talked about people who are into plushies who are also CEOs of a company, we'd probably get one call on the Harmonizer.
Yeah.
But we're not getting one call from anyone who truly believes this is going to happen. It's a great premise for a movie, whether you end up liking the movie or not. It's a great idea for a movie, just as all the other ones that...
It's stuff like this that makes me want to buy a generator and arm myself and get ready for a Red Dawn-like type of response where I'm shoring up my household. My son's like on the roof with a Tommy gun, getting ready to shoot any looters.
I'm
at the front door.
I think you might be pushed past that precipice when the new Red Dawn remake comes out.
Oh.
You might actually be convinced.
That's going to be another smash. I can't wait for that one either. Because I remember when the first one came out. Now looking back on the movie, it's not good. But when I saw it at the time, it was amazing. It was so amazing to me.
1-800-947-3979. Josh in Nashville. Hi, Josh.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey,
I
man.
love the show.
Thanks, man. Your wife, did she buy into this?
Well, yeah, she got into it so much that she had trouble sleeping and got depressed and had to go get put on medication because she believes it so much.
Oh, really? No. Like, so even right now, like if she were hearing this, she would think we're crazy and that...
Yeah, she thinks I'm crazy. About when 2012 comes, it's going to be hard for her to keep a job because she wants to quit her job and travel the world because she honestly thinks that we're not going to have a Christmas that year because the world's going to end.
Now, was she this broke when you married her, or is that just a thing that kind of came along later?
Yeah, that kind of came along after we got married. So.
Okay, so there was maybe a mild fissure, and it's turned into a severe crack now.
Wow, well that sucks, man. Well, hang on, that's
amazing.
Good for you for hanging in there and making sure she's okay. But that's wow.
Josh, do you guys just agree not to talk about it?
What's that?
Do you guys just agree not to talk about it? Because that's one of those things where I doubt she's...
I'm a real big history buff on the History Channel, and that stuff comes on every Saturday and Sunday like clockwork.
Yeah.
So as
Josh,
soon as it comes on, it's like she runs to the closet and hides, you know?
Josh, we've got her on the other line. We're going to conference her in. Hello? Yeah.
I understand she calls you Kevin. That's
Thank
you, Josh.
When she's very...
That's great, man.
Josh is a good sport. He just allowed us to call his wife crazy for 2 minutes.
Oh, he's been waiting to share that with somebody for months.
Poor guy. Well, I give him credit for hanging in there. He loves his wife. He's a good husband.
Mm-hmm.
What if there probably will be scenarios, be it Josh or someone else, where one person in a relationship decides, yeah, man, it's over December 20th or whatever the date was, the 21st.
Yeah.
And they actually go and spend the family's... We'll read that story. Spent the family money and sold to quit their job, and now the family is destitute because of that. Well, that will happen.
Yes, spent the week leading up to that date stealing Ferraris and things like that and driving from one coast to the other and then be shocked and incredulous when the next day rolls around and they go, well, I thought the world was going to end.
Hey, boss, remember last Friday when I told you should eat S and that I thought your wife was ugly? Turns out the world didn't end, and I wasn't as sincere as I should have been.
Wow. I want to build a subterranean fear bunker.
I'm thinking about doing that just for the fun of it.
In a moment, Letterman apologizes again. Also, Nancy Grace may be on the right side of things for once. Do we agree with her? Will you agree with her? We'll let you decide for yourself. And is Seth Green really mad, or is this just a lame attempt at a viral video? All that's coming up next in Headlines. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Well, he either double clutched the ball, gave it a little wiggle. Sometimes you find them squeezing the ball with their hands if a defensive line's trying to get on a quick get-off.
Keith Brooking, 51. He just comes right in the hole. I mean, that's not an easy job. And then Brooking, I don't know who he gores there, but I'll put the helmet back on. He's going to do that.
He's going after two guys over and two of his coaches over on the sideline. And wow.
Oh, man, that's an illegal shot to the face. Oh, yeah, I like that. Blow to the head.
Sounds of the game from this weekend's college and pro football action. Pro football last night. Brett Favre is now the first quarterback in NFL history to have defeated all 32 NFL teams.
You want to hear some boring Brett Favre game talk?
The Vikings end up winning that one 30-23 last night against the Packers in Minneapolis.
Here's Favre.
As a quarterback, you always have fun. How much fun was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was a big win for us. As I told you guys this week, they have a great football team, but it was a lot of fun.
You look a little bit emotional right now. How would you describe what you're feeling?
I'm acting. I'm
proud of our football team. I am emotional, but I'm always emotional.
I watched that game, the first half of it, and that guy threw the ball like crazy good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on a rope, on target, crazy good passes. And, I mean, who knows how long he can sustain it. Hopefully he doesn't get nicked for Vikings fans' sake. But, man, that guy can frickin' play lights out.
There's no reason to believe the Vikings, if he stays healthy, can't be a Super Bowl team.
Could you imagine if they won?
They have a great defense, a great offensive line, probably the best running back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
If he can just be solid and good, which he certainly has so far, why couldn't they win the Super Bowl?
Well, what a story that would be.
Some of them, they fly so fast when he throws them, and then I can't believe they're caught. Some guy, I don't know who the hell he is for the Vikes, was making hand catches, wasn't catching against his body, and I thought to myself, boy, that seems hard as hell to do because it's like they're flying so damn fast. There's no wobble in a spiral.
Yeah. I'm surprised every receiver that he's ever thrown to hasn't at least one time in their life suffered a busted finger.
I think a lot of them have. I think a lot of them absolutely have had broken fingers. Can you imagine? And it's one thing playing in a dome or playing early in the season, but how about those days where it's 15 degrees and you're playing on, for all those years when he was at home at Green Bay and you don't want to touch anything. And even if you have gloves on or whatever, it's still going to.
I wonder how fast he could throw a baseball. I wonder if that's ever been ever said, like on the pitch machine at the fair.
I wonder if it translates. I think it would. It's the same arm motion.
Then his footballs fly at a high rate of speed, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine.
Yeah, I wonder how hard he can throw a football. Like when he really lets one go, how fast it's traveling.
Yeah, I wonder.
He'll be 40 next week. 40 years old.
Can still play.
Oh,
still play.
He's still doing well.
There's few that are better as of right now.
Well, that's the thing. Last year, a lot of people said, well, he really kind of tanked at the end of the year for the Jets. But statistically speaking, he was still better.
And he got hurt.
Than a lot of quarterbacks in the National Football League.
If that guy stays healthy, there's no reason why. I mean, the Vikings have always had stalwart offensive line play, great defensive play, and they have an awesome run. They have the best running back. Good receivers, and if old man Favre can keep it together, look out for those guys.
And the Packers are pretty good. They didn't beat some ham and egger team last night. Sure. They didn't beat the Lions. They beat the Packers. So we'll see. That rematch when they play in Green Bay is the one that's going to be pretty fascinating to see Brett Favre come out onto Lambeau Field wearing the purple and gold.
That will be strange.
Yeah. Pretty wild. 1-800-947-3979. And headlines today, David Letterman. He had said on Thursday's broadcast last week that he was not going to reference again his personal life, but that proved to be, I don't know if it proved to be impossible, but it proved to not be the truth because he referenced it again last night with a number of different times.
Last week on the show, I told a little story about being blackmailed, and I wasn't going to talk.
I wonder if there'd be more inappropriate laughing.
About it anymore, but it seems like people want to talk about it.
That's hilarious. People want to talk about it. That's so funny.
They are so well trained.
God, I hate his audience.
And when you're blackmailed, it's a crime, and you're a victim. It's felony extortion, is what it is, and it's a nasty thing to do.
Get on with it.
Now, being a victim, and if you happen to your behavior is responsible for hurting people, that's a separate part of the equation. And it did not occur to me last week when I was discussing having had sex with women who worked on this show, that then what would happen is reporters and newspaper people and radio and TV would start hounding the staff and saying, what do you say? Are you?
What did you expect? Didn't occur to you? We talked about that on this show.
And we're stupid. That was the first thing we thought of.
Yeah, because I remember distinctly saying, well, this isn't over because now everyone's going to go try to find the women. Of course.
Yeah. Start hounding the staff and saying, what do you say? Are you? And this and that. It was very, very unpleasant. And I would just like to set the record straight. No.
And it's still your fault, David.
No, I'm not having sex with these women. Those episodes are in the past. So my apologies to subjecting them to that vulnerability and being browbeaten and humiliated. It never occurred to me. And as a matter of fact, Alan Coulter kept wanting to know if we'd had sex. Did you remember that, Alan?
He's got to be hilarious at some point.
He's got to throw it in.
I did, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
I doesn't remember. Does it sound different, or do you think he's told to say, I've had sex with women as opposed to I've had several affairs? Do you think he was told to say that? Do you think it sounds worse if he says, I've had several affairs?
I don't know.
I think it does.
You think it does?
I think it sounds less emotional
affairs
when he says, I've had sex with women.
When you say affairs, it implies that there was a relationship.
Yeah.
At least, like if...
Well, and his
like
wife is an ex-staffer.
Yeah.
His wife used to work for him.
Yeah.
Or work on the staff.
They had been boyfriend-girlfriend since '86, so a lot of these happened, obviously.
So... I'll just say, I'm terribly sorry that I put the staff in that position inadvertently. I just wasn't thinking ahead.
Good.
And moreover, the staff here has been wonderfully supportive to me, not just through this furor, but through all the years that we've been on television, and especially all the years here at CBS. So again, my thanks to the staff for once again putting up with something stupid I'm getting myself involved in. Now, the other thing is my wife, Regina, she has been horribly hurt by my behavior. And when something happens like that, if you hurt a person and it's your responsibility, you try to fix it. And at that point, there's only two things that can happen. Either you're going to make some progress and get it fixed, or you're going to fall short and perhaps not get it fixed. So let me tell you, folks, I got my work cut out for me.
I almost wish that I had taken, we went ahead and edited it so that there was inappropriate laughter after all of these crazy, serious things he's saying.
And there might be still.
Mm-hmm. And
like right there, that would have been funny.
Why are they applauding him for that?
He can do no wrong.
Yeah.
But through all of this, you have to say to yourself, what really happened? And what really happened was you can't be victimized by criminals. So you have to go ahead and push back if you're being pushed by something illegal like this. And through all of the heartache and the attention and the embarrassment, I still feel like I did the right thing. And now, also, because what can it hurt? Once again, I'd like to apologize to the former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin. I'm terribly, terribly sorry. So,
what a douchebag.
I don't know. I think what he's saying is genuine.
He's got to be him.
Yeah,
that is who he is. I mean,
he can't just, he's got to still do what has made him famous, which at this point is keep doing what you did in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I wonder if that bothers him, by the way.
Probably not. I think he looks at his bank account and he's good to go.
Probably.
Uh-huh.
So there's David Letterman. Seth Green. Remember him? He was Dr. Evil's son in Austin Powers. Been in a large variety of
Family
movies.
Guy, right?
Yeah, he does
a voice
Chris
for
Griffin.
That's Chris Griffin. There's a viral video going around of him, and I think we could probably watch the video because I don't think he swears in it.
All right.
See if you think this is real or fake. My inclination, anytime someone is a comedy actor or a comedian and a video is released of them freaking out, I always assume it's a plant.
Okay.
But maybe it's not.
All right. Okay. Yeah, sometimes these guys look at this stuff, hey, we should post that on YouTube and throw it out there and see where it winds up. That's fun for them. And it would be for me, too.
Heck yeah.
All right.
It's not playing, is it?
Oh. That's all right. I got the audio open, so we'll just have to roll the audio.
Being fussy.
I don't know, Steve, I can't get the video to play, but no biggie. Anyway, here's the audio. Seth Green freaking out.
I'm outside of the set, like 3 feet from this door. Are you okay? Dude, no, I'm pretty far from okay, man. Dude, just don't touch me, man. I'm not all right now. 2 guys just came out of nowhere, grabbing my stuff, and there was they're probably still running down the street. Okay, that's cool.
Do you know the context of what is?
He got mugged.
He got mugged?
That's what he said.
Okay.
Some people stole his stuff. He's talking to security and the other people that are on the set.
All right.
He's standing in front of the food table.
Okay.
I'm outside of the set, like 3 feet from this door. Are you okay? Dude, no, I'm pretty far from okay, man. Dude, just don't touch me, man. I'm not all right now. 2 guys just came out of nowhere, grabbing my stuff, and there was they're probably still running down the street. Okay, let's cool it. We'll figure it out. All right, we'll figure it out. Call the cops. Don't touch me, dude. I'm not kidding, man. What were you doing? Why were you moving the table? You were moving the table instead of guarding the set? Oh, now I'm moving the table over there. Move your ass to the unemployment line, dude.
Oh, it's his fault.
Are you serious?
This is terrible. What a joke.
Very, very cheesy.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not buying it.
It's being circulated on the internet. The people on the internet, you know, I mean, people in general are saying, "Oh my God, Seth Green is so mad. He must be awful to work with."
Well, the thing is, if the premise were true, then I don't think you could suggest that he would be awful to work with. I would understand why he would be so upset at the security guard if he, in fact, got mugged 3 feet outside the door while the security guard was busy moving a table
but we
and
also
not paying attention.
Probably would have heard a story about Seth Green being mugged.
Absolutely.
I
would have thought so.
Pertinent news story.
He is tiny, by the way. He is tiny.
He is a little fella.
Very small.
In a moment, we've got a couple callers on hold. Eric and Seth, if you could hold on. They want to talk about the Letterman thing.
Okay.
One of them, I believe, has a beef with what we said about it. So we'll get to that coming up in a moment. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show. idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Of course, that line's doing a nice job opening holes for him.
Well, you're talking about a double team now. They check out this action right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Just taking them and driving guys on their backs.
Ronaldo Hill comes to Tony Romo's backside. You're going to see him here. Tony never feels it, never sees it.
What the heck? It's 18 inches.
Sounds the game from this past weekend. 1-800-947-3979. 3 hosts, Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. 2 producers, Joe and Steve. Website, freebeerandhotwings.com. So we're talking about, in the last segment, David Letterman, and he once again apologized and brought up what's going on in his own life. By the way, there were some websites were making a big deal about the fact that, is it Craig Ferguson that's on after him?
Yeah.
That he was taking pot shots at Letterman and The Affair in his show. And there were people saying, well, that's really surprising because Letterman is his boss. But Letterman's not crazy. He knows that this is the real deal. It's not like he's taking personal attacks. He's making the same sort of monologue-style jokes that no doubt Jimmy Kimmel and Jay Leno and
certainly. And
they
all did. And
Jimmy Fallon.
And the fact is, that's what Letterman has done to everyone else.
Right. Yeah, that would be great though if he did get pissed off. That to me would be great mocking.
Yeah.
To make fun of him if he could make fun of what's happened to me. I'll only do it to everyone else.
Yeah, he can absolutely not get irritated by anyone making fun.
I cannot stand when that happens. I have a real problem with that.
Eric in New Jersey joins us. Hi, Eric.
Hey, it's actually Spring Lake, but how you guys doing?
Good, Eric. What do you say?
Anyhow, I got to take Dave's side on this one a little bit because a couple of main points I want to bring up is, one, he apologized to his staff for, him releasing this publicly, and he didn't foresee that everything was going to go down and everyone was going to end up getting harassed by the paparazzi.
Yeah, it was pretty,
that was pretty poor foresight.
Yeah, it was pretty short-sighted of him. Yep, we agree. That was short-sighted.
And the other one, I don't think he accepts that his relationship with his wife is even going to exist anymore.
Say what?
I think he accepts that, that this is a deal breaker with his wife, and he knows that he's put himself in the world of hurt, and he admitted that.
Eric, when you say you're taking David Letterman's side, what would have been the other side you would have taken?
Well, you guys seem to be giving him a hard time, like he wasn't fessing up to it a little bit. Like, kind of like the Michael Vick thing.
What?
No, I don't. I think maybe you misunderstood where we were going with that, because I actually said in the last segment, wow, that seems genuine. I believe he's genuinely sorry.
Yeah.
Now, we did say that I think he had poor foresight when he didn't think of the fact that these women were going to be harassed, these anonymous women, that staffers were going to be asked questions. But that doesn't, I don't think we suggested that he's being glib or casual about the whole thing. He's clearly taking it pretty seriously.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he admitted what he did. I mean, you can't, nobody could say, oh, he didn't admit it, because he admitted it.
Right.
Yeah, I think he. I think
I can go with that, guys.
Yep.
Okay.
He's actually. I think
as long as you can.
He's actually fortunate that the extortion went down, because it allows him to use that as almost like a deflector for what he has what he did to his wife.
Yeah, because what he did was morally wrong and awful to her.
Yeah.
However, what had been to him was criminal.
Well,
so
that's interesting that you say that, though. I hadn't thought of that. But imagine if he had just come out on a show and said, there's something I need to talk about. I got caught. My wife found out that I had been having affairs for the entire time that we were boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance.
You would have no reason to talk about it.
I've had affairs since our child has been born. Now, I don't know when the timeline is, but if he had just said that and there had been no extortion, I think the public's reaction to that would have been dramatically different.
It would have been different, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, as long as he agrees that he's got a problem and he agrees to fix it.
That's the thing. People are forgiving.
And I don't know the timeline of this. I mean, he needs to say when he had the affair.
Well, he said that no affairs had happened since his child has been born. So at least it was prior to them getting married and the child being born.
Because the baby was born and then he got married, right?
Is that how it went?
The baby's 5 and he's been married for 7 months. Or the child is 5.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
married
even
for
know.
7 months.
I didn't even pay attention. I had no idea.
The intern that came out and said she had an affair with him said she had the affair in 1994, and that's well into the past.
Yeah.
This is Mark in New Hampshire. Hi, Mark.
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Good.
You gotta think back, he's not the only talk show or comedy show. What about Jay Leno or Johnny Carson or what about even the Chevy Chase show?
You're right. Those are also all talk shows. That is a valid point.
Those are shows.
If I were to make a list of other talk shows, I would mention Phil Donahue and Geraldo and maybe even Magic Johnson.
Oh, Mike Douglas.
Mike Douglas.
Man, what am I missing here?
Everybody might have had one of those extramaritals. Even Bill Clinton had an extramarital affair.
Wait, so Mark, is your point that anyone with a talk show probably had an affair, so this is no big deal?
Oh, it's part of the satire of them being on TV. They're in the spotlight, and it's entertaining to see that they're, having an affair.
So you think he had an affair on purpose because it would be good fodder?
No, he had an affair because he's a celebrity and he's exploiting that. Why? I don't know. If I was a rock star and I could get chicks.
I can't believe you're not, actually. I'm shocked that you're not a rock
star. I wish I was a rock star.
I don't think it. I mean, there certainly are some careers where people are more likely to have an affair. I think most people would agree that professional athletes, are more likely to have an affair than a postal worker or something like that. But that's not to say that just because you're
celebrities that come through on his show. Like how many celebrities do you think he probably was attracted to?
I'm sure he was attracted to.
Thank you, Mark. So. I'm guessing that I don't know why, but I would have been far more shocked if Jay Leno was the one who announced that he had an affair, because of the way he talks about his relationship with his wife. Now that doesn't mean he's not playing the character of Jay.
Either of these guys. I would have thought that both these guys, they seem very righteous to me, and I'd be surprised if I would have been surprised if either one of them. I was surprised that Letterman had that.
See, this doesn't surprise me that much. I mean, the guy's in a huge position of power. He wasn't married. I mean, yeah, he was cheating on his girlfriend, but it was a girlfriend. They didn't have a child. They weren't married.
Yeah.
Leno would have been a little bit more surprising because they've been married for like 30 years or something, and he talks about her a lot. Yeah, getting back to what Freeberry was saying, but I don't know.
Here's the Letterman apology laugh track version. Thank you, Joe.
No, I'm not having sex with these women. Those episodes are in the past. So my apologies to subjecting them to that vulnerability. I'm terribly sorry that I put the staff in that position inadvertently. I just wasn't thinking ahead. My wife, Regina, she has been horribly hurt by my behavior. And when something happens like that, if you hurt a person and it's your responsibility, you try to fix it. And at that point, there's only two things that can happen. Either you're going to make some progress and get it fixed, or you're going to fall short and perhaps not get it fixed. So let me tell you, folks, I got my work cut out for me.
Sadly, if you had played that without telling me that was laugh track induced, other than maybe a little of the editing, I don't know that I would have thought, something seems weird here.
Stop laughing. It's not funny.
Victor in New York. Hi, Victor. What do you think?
I think the man's a sexual predator.
You think David Letterman is a sexual predator? I don't agree with that, Victor.
Victor, are you serious when you say that?
Well, I'm partially tongue-in-cheek, but let's be frank here. The guy's in a position of power. He's preying on young women, some of them who apparently are young enough to be, if not his granddaughter, his daughter. Creepy.
Now, when you say young women, we're talking about women in their 20s.
Mid-20s.
That's an adult, and I don't think, to use the word predator, I think it has to be that he somehow tricked them, or in my mind, I think of drugging them or forcing them. Yeah. But women are seduced, men and women both are seduced by a variety of factors, and one of those happens to be power, and I don't know that makes him a sexual predator, Victor.
Yeah, I mean, he's a funny guy with a lot of money and in a position of power.
I got to disagree with you. I don't find him funny at all.
Okay.
I mean, that's me. But I mean, that's why the station and the network is so concerned about sexual harassment complaints right now. That's what sexual harassment complaints are all about. You got a dude who's in a position of power,
right?
All right, and he's abusing that power.
Yeah, but, I mean, a predator is probably not the...
Yeah, I don't know if I'd use the term predator. I mean, there is a reason why bosses in a lot of companies, they do have a clause in HR and that where, you're not supposed to date a subordinate so that these things don't happen.
Yeah.
People don't feel pressure or other people who aren't having sex with the boss. Just go ahead and talk.
It would be okay. It would be okay. No, all right. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, it's all right. It happens all the time. Everybody does it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It would be okay for you if some 6-year-old dude was hitting on your daughter if your daughter was 20. That's fine with you.
At what point did I say that?
Yeah, well, I mean, David, I don't think he. I think these women engaged him. I think he was able to woo them, if you will. But to me, whenever the word predator is used, I envision some guy snatching somebody off the street or forcing them against their will. I mean, he had kind of like almost a relationship with these women. You know what I mean?
These women who were young but were adults.
Right.
Yeah. Victor?
I know. I absolutely hear what you guys are saying. I'm just asking if your daughter was 20 and some 60-year-old dude was in the workplace.
But Vic,
on them,
I wouldn't approve of the relationship, but I wouldn't say you're dealing with a sexual predator.
Right. There's a big difference. If I ever have a 20-year-old daughter, I can think of 1,000 scenarios in which I would not approve of the relationship. Yeah. I wouldn't approve of my 20-year-old daughter having a relationship with a 25-year-old bum who lives at home and collects comic books. I wouldn't approve of that. But that doesn't make him a predator. Victor. Thank you, Victor.
Okay.
1-800-947-3979. Victor painted the picture that Dave Letterman was busted by Chris Hansen sitting in his kitchen when he came home. Why don't you have a seat right there?
Yeah, that's not true at all. I mean, come on, it was.
Yeah, and by the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like he had sex with every person who worked on the show.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he happened to hit it off with a few. Mm-hmm. Things worked out.
Yeah, when you own your own production company, I mean,
things happen.
Yeah, you have a couple of people you're attracted to. Well, who wouldn't have done that if there wasn't the clause, I guess? You're not in a relation.
Who wouldn't have done that?
I mean, you're not married, you're not committed.
In a moment.
Yeah.
A story of two different 13-year-olds. Talk about a difference. One 13-year-old had a parent who got arrested as a result of this story. The other 13-year-old defended their house with a variety of weapons in a fairly awesome manner. We'll have both of those stories for you next, and what Hot Wigs thinks in the next segment. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wigs Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
He'll hit the hole hard, but when he has to hesitate for a moment to find some alley, he's willing to do it. If he's anything, Marion Barber is a finisher. And he just would not go down, and pounding it in
You talk to every defensive lineman, they talk about get off. Right there, Pennington got him off.
My God, I can't believe he said that.
So there seems to be a bit of a crackback against some of the callers to the radio show today. Kenny writes from Brazil.
He's listening in Brazil, really? No kidding.
Yep. He says, I am from New Jersey, and I listen to you guys every morning on my laptop. My wife and I teach conversational English here, and our students in their second language could have made more sense than the last two callers about David Letterman. They were, as they would say here in Brazil in Portuguese, retards. I love the show.
Oh, how do you say retard in Portuguese? Could you send that, Kenny?
Yeah.
Could come in handy someday.
That's right.
So conversational English in Brazil, what does that involve?
I enjoy Slurpees.
So what are you doing when you smuggle in your cocaine?
How about that baseball game?
Oh, boy.
So 2 stories of 13-year-olds, dramatically different in this case.
Mm-hmm.
One of them from Chicago. That one's a positive story. We'll get to that one second. First one seems like she may have a bad mother. In fact, I'm certain there will be zero disagreement on that assertion.
All right.
37-year-old Jackie Nod of Albertville, Alabama, on Sunday was trying to clear some clutter from her home and apparently wanted to haul a lot of that clutter to another location using her van.
Yep.
One of the things that she wanted to clear out was apparently a box that would not fit inside her van. I don't know why it wouldn't fit or why it was so important to move this box. Cardboard box, that is.
Okay.
So she tied it down using clothes hangers to the top of her van.
Clothes hangers? Yeah, don't get a piece of twine or some rope or a bungee strap or something. Clothes hangers are a good option.
Surprisingly, what she chose to tie it to the van with was not so much of the problem.
Okay.
Although you could question whether or not clothes hangers were the best option. They weren't. That wouldn't have been a big deal. That wouldn't have made people driving on the highway next to her call 911.
Right.
Okay.
What did make them call 911 was the fact that Jackie, apparently concerned that the box would blow off of the van and they would lose its delightful contents, decided to weight it down by putting her 13-year-old in it and then driving down the highway.
Oh, my gosh.
Did it? Oh,
jeez.
It fell off, didn't it?
No.
Did not.
Her daughter must be beefy.
You know she is.
The unidentified 13-year-old daughter was sitting inside the box to weigh it down, and apparently people driving on the interstate could see her in there, and they're like, is that a girl? And the girl's like, hey, how are you?
Oh, no.
I don't know how well they could see her or whatever, but...
Oh, my gosh.
Mom could get up to 1 year imprisonment, because this is what you call endangering the welfare of a child.
Just shoot the mom.
How could you possibly go, no, man, this is cool.
Broad. You dumb dummy. You dumb dummy. Dumb broad. You stupid dummy.
Harsh but accurate.
Yeah.
So that is a story of one 13-year-old. The second story of a 13-year-old, dramatically different.
Right. Here you go. Let the news reporters take care of this one, kid.
It was a night that could have easily ended in tragedy, but when a teen heard 2 men breaking into his home, he sprang into action, scaring the crooks away. Josh Sheehy is the teen behind this harrowing story. He joins us live this morning from Chicago. Hey, Josh, how are you, man?
Hey there, I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing great. Tell me exactly what happened.
This kid is so together.
What did you see when you came home, and what did you do?
All right, well, when I got home, I just walked down the hall, flipped on a light, went to my room, and my dogs were downstairs, and no one was home. It was just me.
I was looking forward to masturbating.
Heard the door open, the backsliding door, and I got suspicious because my dogs would bark and go crazy when my mom's home, and they didn't do that. So I got suspicious and got my airsoft pistol, this thing right here, and I walked down the hall. And I saw one man in my house and another dude right outside the window.
Another dude.
And I shot at the one dude. I think I got him in like the side of the face. And I ran to my room and got my shotgun.
Whoa. Well, wait a minute.
He's got a shotgun in his room?
Of course. This kid's all together. I
My
don't understand
God,
why
he's armed.
His first weapon was the airsoft gun when he has, that's right, a shotgun.
Right. Default to the one that does damage.
He annoyed the first guy.
Yeah.
I bayonet and
wait a minute.
I put a shell in my shotgun. Dude, I think I got him in like the side of the face. Then I ran to my room and got my shotgun and my bayonet, and I put.
He's got a bayonet. Wow.
Bayonet? That's World War II kind of stuff for hand-to-hand combat.
When he was walking around with it, it wasn't attached to the end of a weapon. He was actually holding it like a big dagger.
So like a dagger.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Put a shell in my shotgun and ran outside and fired off a shot, and they ran away.
Josh, you don't appear that you were at all scared. Were you not frightened when you heard?
Well, you see, sir, it's 3 days later. I'm not scared now.
Right.
That's why.
Also, I had a shotgun and a bayonet, and they were already running from the airsoft gun. Right. I figured I had an advantage.
Into your house, and you're home alone as a 13-year-old.
Well, I didn't really think it was happening because I live in a good part of town, and this would never really happen. But I was shaking because of my adrenaline, and
never happens to us white people.
Really scared at all.
What did your mom and dad? What your mom and dad have to say about this?
Thank God we armed him.
Well, my dad wasn't even here, so
he hasn't been here my whole life.
My dad's what you
later that
call an absentee father.
Yeah.
At night, but my mom was.
I plan on using these weapons to shoot up the school later.
At the start, she came back like 10 minutes later, and she didn't believe me. She was in shock. She knew something was wrong because every light on the house, out and in on the house was on. So she was wondering what was wrong. So she was surprised and shocked.
So. Will they think twice before leaving you home alone again, or are they even more
How would he know?
No, but
comfortable now?
Yeah. Well, sir, what I really want to say is that's an excellent follow-up question, and you're very qualified at your job. I wish I could stab you with my bayonet.
Let me answer on behalf of the criminals.
You want to know if the criminals will think twice. I don't know. I don't know if they'll think twice.
Or if the parents.
Knowing how well you handle yourself around your guns.
Well, they're proud of me. They're not really gonna, they know that I can take care of myself if I'm home alone now.
Sounds like a wiener.
I bet. And you
not
have
really questioning that.
Josh, you have some of the guns there with you, I'm told.
Yeah.
What do you have
I'm gonna put one in my mouth.
Shoot the camera.
Well, this is my airsoft pistol. This is what I walk down the hall with.
Okay.
And it's really powerful, and it hurts a lot.
It's a toy.
And
I've been shot by those. They sting a little.
It would sting. What is that used for? Obviously, you don't hunt with an air pistol. What do you do with that?
What does anyone do with a BB gun or an airsoft gun?
Yeah, you just
Who's
find
the
things.
13-year-old here?
Yeah.
Is the 13-year-old doing the interview and the other person is an adult? Because it seems reversed.
No, it's like I can play with my friends, and you'd put little BBs in here, and you'd shoot at each other.
With a gun? What?
Play games and stuff. It's pretty cool, and it hurts a lot, but yeah.
Last question, Josh.
Thank God.
Has this made you instantly, if you weren't already the coolest kid in school?
Well, people are
Are you getting lots of mitt?
Me, and now I think well, I'm not sure. I'm not that cool, but I just talk to a lot of more people now.
Last question. What's the biggest problem with acne?
Very cool. All right, Josh Sheehy started hunting when he was 11 and scared burglars out of his house at 13. Thanks for joining us this morning, man.
All right, thanks.
Third burglar.
I'm not sure I could do what he did now.
Well, I had a shotgun. Yeah, I mean, if he handled a shotgun well, sure. I just don't understand why he went to. It's like he worked his way up. I will start by calling them names, like the French taunter. Then I will throw a piece of paper at them. Then I will fart in their general direction.
I may even have a pine cone from a wreath from the holidays nearby.
I will shoot a rubber band or paper football at them. Then the paintball gun.
I will also try to kiss them if they get too close.
That will throw them off.
Kid had it together, though. I got to give him credit.
Yeah. There were no robbers. He made this all up. Joe believes it, too. It was all fabricated. It never happened.
Just another way for him to try to get attention from his mom, who's too busy dating this week's dad.
Oh.
You don't love me anymore. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebearandhotwings.com.
Here's what Hot Wings thinks. Hot Wings. What Hot Wings thinks.
Free beer, Zane and listeners. John and Kate Gosselin may be the stupidest, whiniest, most self-absorbed pseudo-celebrities I have ever seen. They make me laugh with their back-and-forth accusations and claims that border on the ridiculous to anyone with a normal functioning brain.
Yeah.
Since they find it necessary to take turns going on talk shows to talk about each other, yesterday was Kate's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Queen and her new mud flap haircut graced the set of the Today Show for at least the 30th time to talk about dopey-faced John and her sadness over his recent behavior. Mm-hmm. This time related to the claim that he took $230 of the $231,000 that they had in their joint account, leaving her with just $1,000. Okay, if that's true, he's a scumbag. But $230,000, while a lot of money, should be a drop in the bucket for Kate. I mean, come on. She actually cried to Meredith Vieira and said, I have a stack of bills in my purse I can't put in the mail. I need that money to provide for the kids. Oh, yeah, I'm sure her kids might just up and starve. I might also forget how to tie my shoes today. You're telling me and the rest of America that that's the only money you had?
Yeah.
I'd say that's about as likely as discovering cat poop tastes like donuts. You know how much, I would like to know how much money they make an episode. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know. How much has she made off appearances and book deals? How about the money she's gotten for cover stories and interviews? If she thinks that anyone feels bad because John, the world's worst tweener, may have taken some money, we don't. Quit your crying. He's an ass, you're an ass, your kids are doomed, end of story. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show is next. Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Greg Jones, the stud that he is, but this guy's a sack master. Where is coming unimpeded?
Boy, from this angle, almost looked like it hit the knob of Thomas Vokoun. Maybe we'll catch a replay a little later.
Yeah.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. Later on this hour, I have an example of two stories from radio where people got themselves fired with their mouth.
Okay.
Recently.
All right.
These, in this case, not people we know, but people that we know them.
Why don't you tell the story about the guy who got fired for his wiener, too? Tell that one. Maybe we won't.
Oh, no. No. It wasn't. His wiener was one thing, but the other one. That's awkward. 1-800-947-3979. But we'll tell those. In fact, we'll invite your call for your failed power play, because one of these is a failed power play where the person assumed they could not be fired. Actually, in both cases, both of these radio stories, I think both people assumed that they were untouchable and then said things that caused their employer to go, "You're fired.
Wow.
Please pack your stuff. Don't leave tomorrow when you can leave now." In both of these cases. So we'll get to that near the end of the hour, and we'll ask you to share your story of the time you said, I got this power play. I'm going to go in and tell the boss like it is, and he's going to like it because I'm important. It doesn't necessarily have to be work. Could be other scenarios. I'm sure people have done it in their own marriage.
I'm sure I'm irreplaceable.
Yep. 1-800-947-3979. I wonder if there's anybody listening who has ever been impacted as greatly as the story I'm about to share by a Jumbotron. I'll bet not.
Okay.
It's a strange opening question, no doubt. I was reading a story yesterday on a website about, and it actually might be called, I knew it was over when.com. I don't remember for sure. I got there by clicking on one link and then another.
Uh-huh.
But the story I was reading was this. A woman and her boyfriend it might even have been fiance, were sitting at a hockey game, watching the game, and they did that thing where they show couples on there and they try to get them to kiss, that they do at a lot of hockey games.
Yeah, the kiss cam.
And when the camera was going around the stadium, she said, according to what she wrote, that she wasn't really paying attention. And so then she wasn't even really watching the big screen. And so the camera focused on a couple, and from near them, she hears a woman say, "My God, that couple looks miserable." And the guy goes, "Oh, my God, they hate each other." At which point she looked up and saw her and her boyfriend on the Jumbotron.
Now, miserable like they're ugly people, or they just don't look happy?
Unhappy.
Okay.
And she said she had never thought about it.
Maybe it was ugly and they just don't know it.
Yeah, could be. But in that moment, when she heard someone else say how miserable they looked to each other, or looked together, she started looking at it, and they weren't up there very long, and she did kiss him, but it was kind of lukewarm. And she spent the rest of the hockey game thinking, my God, that lady 3 rows behind me is right. We are miserable. Yeah. We hate each other. I mean, we stay together because we've been together, but we don't like each other. I certainly don't want to spend the rest of my life. And according to what she was writing, that had never crossed her mind before that. And if the camera had stayed on different couples that night, they would have gone home and eventually probably gotten married. But that one comment as a result of the Jumbotron made her say, "Oh, God,
that's crazy."
Okay, so then she didn't go through with it, and that's it. Ended up ending the relationship, probably for the best.
Probably.
So that's why you should always ask another person's opinion about what do you think about us as a couple, of anyone before you. I mean, that's a great idea. What a resource. It doesn't matter who,
long as you're okay with the answer.
Yeah.
So look, think about taking the big plunge. I need to know, how do you feel about us as a couple? Well, everybody's awkward when we're around you because you two look so miserable. You're always fighting. It makes us hate to be in your presence. So we can't stand it. I hope you don't get married. Or, wow, match made in heaven. You guys are perfect for each other.
So I was going to say, and I think you're about to say the same thing, I think if you have to ask, then it's probably a problem.
Yeah, but she didn't realize until she saw it, though, which is the same as and heard it, which is the same as somebody just coming up to you and, making that observation. She might not even realize it.
I actually find that amazing that somebody could not have ever thought, I'm kind of unhappy, before they see it on a Jumbotron and have somebody else point it out.
Well, sometimes you get so much investment involved in the relationship, whatever, share a house, share a pet, kid, whatever.
Yeah, you just have that sort of general stasis.
And I think some people, Hot Wings and Zane, think that's how it is for everybody.
I think that does happen. Yeah,
you convince
you're right.
yourself that, everybody, because you hear it sitcoms are based on it, and people always, the wife's old ball and chain. They do all that crap.
Yeah.
And I think some people convince themselves that everybody's supposed to be at least a little unhappy.
It could be worse.
I wonder if there's anybody listening who's had an incredibly embarrassing moment on the Jumbotron, because there are times where it catches people in odd moments or whatever. Hell, there are people who've marketed entire videotapes of people getting caught having sex on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, I have often wanted to say to my mom and my stepdad, why are you two even married? Because you two seem miserable.
Do they seem happier when the other one's not around?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just like they're constantly at each other's throats, making everybody awkward around them. I got an email the other day from my stepdad, and it was some photographs that he sent me of my when my mom and my stepdad were at my house visiting. And he took some photographs, and then I didn't even think about it, and then they came via email yesterday. And this is all he wrote. Your mom finally approved these pictures to be sent to you. Wally. And I went, what? And I wrote, thank you. Not sure what you mean by, quote, approved. Seems weird to me. Shouldn't have said that. Followed it up with an email back to me that kind of detailed what apparently is going on. He writes back, yeah, it seems weird to me, too. I have always sent people the pictures taken of them with our camera. Lately, your mom has been picky about which pictures I send and don't send. She now doesn't want any pictures sent unless she, quote, approves them.
What? Well, that is weird.
Now, do you think it means just pictures of her? Because some people are sensitive about what photos.
No, because some of the pictures weren't of her. They were.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't even in them. Not wanting to further this, I just wrote, wow, crazy. They bicker constantly. I wish they were on the video board at the hockey game so that someone can say, look at those two. They should get divorced so they can enjoy their golden years. These two seem pissed.
We could probably arrange it.
All the time. Non-stop. Pissed off.
Invite them to town for a hockey game. Just sit casually with them. Hot Wings or I could sit behind.
Well, we could.
Or Steve. They don't know Steve at all. Steve could go,
yeah.
whoa, look at that miserable couple.
I know the guy
they hate each other.
Who runs the video board at the hockey games, and we could do hate cam. Couples who hate each other.
They should do that anyway.
That would actually be funny. People who just aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Because you know how when you don't have an expression, you might look mad. If you're just sitting there not really paying attention, you get two people that are sitting next to one another, they look mad.
Joe?
Other things. Remember when they caught Freebeer looking at that girl's boobs?
Oh, yeah. That was funny.
That wasn't
really funny.
That wasn't that great.
Freebeer was staring at him, and
I didn't care. What the hell?
And I do the PA for the hockey team. I go, hey, everybody, look to the video board. Look what Freebeer's looking at. And he's totally ogling her cans. You can see he had a big rod.
Which, although in his defense, was impossible not to.
Well,
because you could see them from the opposite side of the arena without the aid of the Jumbotron.
All night long, everybody in that section in front of me were like, hey, Freebeer, can you see her boobs? And I'm like, how could you miss them?
Everybody had the urge to park their bike.
You bumper and it flops out.
1-800-947-3979. The idea of, instead of kiss cam, it's like couples that would never kiss each other and intentionally find a man and woman that are not together, so they have to make that awkward look like, oh, no, I'm not with him. Woo, I'm so nervous.
We'll put the camera on a couple of trolls, call it the make-your-own-gravy cam.
Yeah, a Minger cam.
On his last day ever. Ugly cam! And it's just pictured, and it just says, this person is really ugly. I might hang myself if that happened to me. Yep. Well, I always thought I was kind of ugly, but the Jumbotron says it's true. Time to hang myself. David Carradine, here I come. Mike joins us. Hi, Mike.
Go, Mike, go.
Hi, Mike.
Go, Mike, go. Go, Mike, go. Mike.
You make some good points.
Mike.
Well, that's true.
Running out of time, Mike.
Mike's friend was put on kiss cam and kissed the girl next to him, and his girlfriend saw it.
Oh.
That's what his claim was.
Mm-hmm.
1-800-947-3979. Back to the thing about telling a couple that they're not meant to be together.
Yeah.
I think if you get together with somebody right at the very beginning and people aren't saying stuff to you, like, because when people find out about new relationships, there's a tendency, especially from women, but I think a lot of guys do it too. Like, oh, yeah, you make a really good couple. Mm-hmm. You guys, oh, wow, it's really great for you. If you get mostly silence when you say, oh, yeah, I'm dating this person, you probably could pick up on the cues.
Yeah. They don't approve.
On your own.
They don't agree. You're going to have to you're going to have to work to win them over.
That's a bad feeling, I would think, to have that moment where you know that everyone else hates your significant other from the time you start out.
Yes, that would be rough.
1-800-947-3979. This is Arliss. Hello, Arliss.
How's it going?
Good.
I was reading the other day, Pamela Anderson was actually discovered on the Jumbotron in a professional football game.
No kidding. I was reading that, too, in a book entitled Everyone Knows That.
Oh, oh my God.
Oh, Arrow.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's going to be another email from Whiny Ben. Yeah, it makes my fun of listeners too much.
Yeah. Not everyone knows everything you guys know.
I'm a big pussy. Even Howie the Rude. F off, worm.
Hello, Alex.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Were you on Kiss Cam?
Oh, yeah. Really awkward situation. I was at a basketball game one time with my family, and the kiss cam was going around, and you got free dinner to this local restaurant if you were caught on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting next to my sister, and I really wanted the dinner, so I reached over and kissed her and made it real weird.
Yeah. Now, was it a good kiss? Did you, really go deep tongue?
Mm-hmm.
No, not
Yeah, you
deep
did.
tongue.
What was Did you sniff your finger after?
Oh, God, no. It was real weird.
Yeah, you could taste her lip gloss.
Yeah.
What if she
smells like fish?
Alex, what if she never thought of you that way, and now she sometimes treats herself like an amusement park as a result of your move?
Yep. It's true, man.
It's not quite like that yet. But,
Maybe, though, if you keep working towards it.
She's a squirter.
Thank you, Alex.
She's squirting.
1-800-947-3979. Kyle, what did you see on the Jumbotron?
There was a time that I was at a local hockey game, and my buddy was sitting next to me, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and he's like, dude, check out the Jumbotron right now. And I looked up, and straight up, the chick who was sitting next to me, who was my girlfriend, she was just straight up picking her nose.
Yeah.
And it was at that point that I decided that I didn't want to be with her anymore.
Really?
Well, that's awfully shallow.
Yeah.
Though she was picking her nose in public at a hockey game. I take that back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's on me.
But,
I was wrong.
It was worse because I chose that moment exact to break up with her.
Oh, you did it on the spot.
Well, you had to have been thinking about it, though. I mean, it had had to have crossed your mind.
Yeah, because if everything else was awesome, then you wouldn't just do that
No.
immediately.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I actually
Kyle.
brought my buddy with me to that hockey game because I planned on doing it after, and she was our ride, and he had driven separately. That way I could have a ride home.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
I would probably just break up before the hockey game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Then enjoy the hockey game.
Did you end up doing it? And when did you actually end up doing
He's
it?
gone.
Oh, all right. Well, never mind.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. There was a game last year where I went with some friends, and they had a teenage daughter, and teenagers can be very blunt. And, Zane, you do the PA, and somehow I ended up on the screen, and you were making reference to me on the Jumbotron before I knew I was on there. And I hear her say, hey, Aaron, your friend's on the big screen, and he looks stupid.
Oh.
I go, geez, I'm just sitting here minding my own business. I got you free chicken fingers. What are you doing?
No. Man.
That's how it goes.
That's rough.
Yeah. Though she was probably right. Can't argue with the truth. When did your power play go wrong? We'll get to that later on this hour. This is where you know that you're irreplaceable, and next thing you know, you're looking for a job or something else goes wrong. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Sure, you may think these guys suck.
They don't deserve to be educated. They're too far gone already. Imbeciles from birth until death. They don't deserve to have the right to vote. Their opinion doesn't matter.
But you're the one listening to them.
In a moment, Nancy Grace, for once, we all kind of think she's right.
Oh, it's the first time ever that I've been, go get them.
I don't think I've ever thought she was on the right side of things before.
Yeah.
She's one of those people, even when she's right, she comes across as wrong to me.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there have been plenty of times where I technically agree with what she's saying. It's just her general demeanor and a-holishness.
Even on what Hot Wings thinks today, Hot Wings, you kind of went after both John and Kate. And I'm like, well, no, don't go after Kate. I was like, oh, no, don't. Because I don't think she's done anything wrong.
But things have turned for her.
Oh, big time.
Because there was a time where everyone would have said, oh, like before a lot of this happened, like Joe and I used to talk about, the only thing I knew about that show was from The Soup when they would portray Kate as an icy bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt bad for John.
Yeah, and now take a fast forward however long it's been since I became aware of them through The Soup. Now I'm like, yeah, she seems like a nice enough person who's doing what she can to earn money. I don't have a problem with that. She's trying to take care of those kids, and her husband's a douchebag.
And even up till just recently, I still think he could have fixed it. But now this latest thing about the TLC thing and the tour and all the trouble he's causing,
he's an idiot. And
this guy's going to kill himself, man.
And I think the reason it's turning back for me on Kate again, where it started out, is because now I think she's playing up the victim role. I think she is infinitely better off without that guy around. He's an idiot. I think.
Well, I think she. I don't mean if
Yeah,
he was
she's
normal,
the star.
If he didn't lose his mind, she would have been. I mean, he would have been.
Yeah, then it would have been fine. But at this point, I think if I were her, I'd be damn happy he was gone.
Steve can't stand her. He writes, Our Steve writes to us, I hate that bee, and I think she's playing the woe is me card.
Wow.
Well, Steve and I are on the same page then. Right on, Steve.
No sympathy at all, Steve?
No. Not at all. I mean, if you put yourself in the public spotlight and, obviously she had something to do with the divorce, too.
Yeah, it does take two to tangle, there's no question.
She enjoys almost all the aspects of what she's got. She enjoys the fame. She's going to have another show on her own. There is nothing about this that's bad for her. I think she's using this as a great media opportunity in order to make people sympathize with her and boost her own star power. And it's working.
It's working great.
I think she's going to be very lonely. I think that's a big thing that's going to be not so positive.
I think that's true, too. I think eventually that will be the case.
I think there are lots of guys who want to date a woman with 8 kids in a reality show.
That's a thing, man. I mean, seriously.
I mean, really.
And she knows that. I was reading in People, she's like, she goes, I'm realistic. She goes, no man will be near me.
Anyone that would want to date her, I would immediately think was doing it for cash.
And I think they would be.
Because otherwise, why would you want the hassle?
Because it's so much baggage. I mean, there's so much going on there.
She needs to marry one of the camera people or something.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be around her, and they could actually genuinely start to develop real feelings for each other. So John Goslin and his lawyer went on Nancy Grace's show.
Yeah.
And that's now when I first heard of this, I thought, well, that is the most unholy alliance ever. The world is going to open up and evil's going to flow out.
Well,
with those two being together.
She had to ask some pretty pointed questions, though, and she does not like John. She does not like the lawyer. And she, I think, fared pretty well in this. Here's part one.
You suddenly have a problem with it, and you want it to all come to an end, and I don't believe that.
Talking about the show.
Regardless of the timing, I'm their father, and I will do what's best for my children.
The timing is
you got your lawyer here?
Timing.
You're afraid to answer questions? Whatever. What's important is the children, and not these two self-absorbed husband and wife who argue constantly in front of their children.
Exactly. That's why they're coming off.
That's why the show is coming to a stop.
Why don't you just quit arguing and work on your marriage?
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be a better idea?
Exactly.
And go back to a happy family?
If I could get Kate to mediate and talk, we could do that.
You've been to therapy together once and have not been back, but you want to go back with Kate, right?
Yes. I would love to go to mediation.
I don't know that you can say I want to go to mediation and then take the money out of the account and do some of the other things that he's done that, regardless of his intention, they seem spiteful.
Well, he's ridiculous.
He doesn't want this to work.
I don't know that spite is the best way to build a forthcoming relationship.
Hey, you talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk, because
Actions
you can't go out with one 22-year-old after the next while she's at home with the children and say you want to work it out. That's not working it out, John Goslin. Hold on for just a second.
How many people are on this show?
I don't know, like
1 billion.
Damn it!
When she's home, she's home. When I'm home, I'm home. So we share the differences. I don't tell you how to parent. I parent my children in a certain way, and Kate parents.
Well, if you don't want my advice, then don't sit up here and ask for it.
I don't know that he asked for it.
I don't hear that either.
By the way, I don't know that you can play the "Don't Tell Me How to Parent" card when you're showing off your parenting skills on television. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to listen to people, but at the same time, it goes again where you put yourself out there. Criticism is going to be part of it.
Mm-hmm. Finally, Grace asks Goslin why he always talks about himself.
I'm going to say get the baby's therapy. I'm going to say because you never know. The effects of this could be far-reaching.
I don't know who that is. Probably some specialist.
And you know.
You don't know until you're an adult, and sometimes that's too late. And that's what happened to me. I'm learning, I mean, my father, his father, I'm learning to break the pattern. I mean, I know I was passive. I know I was an avoider.
Why is this always about you? Why are we talking about you? She asked you about your children.
Because he's an important part of his children.
Can he even speak without you?
Oh, this lawyer.
Yeah, that lawyer.
Thank you, Vic Chicklets, for joining in the fray.
Because he's an important part of his children.
Can he even speak without you piping in? I'd like to hear, how does it always get back to you?
I don't know. I just thought, you needed
Well, that's a good place to start.
He sounds stupid to me.
Yeah, he doesn't think things out.
Background? I mean, is he like a high school, like a junior high 5th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade?
Beats me, man.
He sounds stupid.
Sounds like Jethro.
Now, we said that that Kate was sort of reforming her image and that people were starting to like her. We may not be right.
I know. That's how I feel.
Tiffany in North Carolina. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
Good. You don't like Kate?
No, just from watching, she's all of a sudden glorifying herself and making herself out to be the best mom. But if you watched the show before, I mean, she was terrible. I mean, there was one episode where the whole episode she was yelling at John for going to a place and buying a shower head and not using a coupon. I mean, the whole episode was based on her yelling at John for not using a coupon. That's just mental.
I would have done that.
That
sounds like me.
And now all of a sudden she's, this great mom. But I mean, if you look at her, she always has her phone in her hands. I feel bad for the kids. I mean, if I was that little, they've been in the spotlight since, especially the young ones.
That's what I said.
They were born.
Yeah, they're all going to be school shooters.
That's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Tiffany.
I mean, they're all going to grow up, thinking that that's normal, having cameras around and being popular. I mean, you can look at the twins that are older. They're already starting to be somewhat of brats and attention-seeking, especially I think her name's Maddie.
Yeah. And certainly,
I feel bad.
Not out of the question, that's for sure. Remember, it's funny, as this was all breaking, remember when they were getting ready to film their new season of the show, she was doing press. Remember that video circulated on the internet where she wouldn't give the daughter water, but then she asked for water herself?
Yeah.
I know it.
As I'm reminded of that, I think, no, she is kind of a jerk.
Yeah,
that was a real jerk move.
No question.
Yeah, they are very, very horribly self-centered.
That doesn't,
people.
You know what, though? That doesn't
They put themselves first.
I mean, believe me, parents do jerk things, too. I am big a jerk as anybody when it comes to behavior around my kids. I mean, when you deal with your kids on a regular day-to-day basis, if any parent listening looks back, there have been moments when you've been, boy, I was a real a-hole there at that point. I was also good here and good here, but I was also an a-hole here. So I mean, when you look back on her, obviously she's seen on TV, and so everybody sees these sensational parts when she's acting like queen bitch. Well, the show wouldn't be any good if she didn't. Mm-hmm. Well, it would be boring.
In reality TV, they have a term they use. There are a couple different terms they use to talk when the production companies talk about this, and we've heard this from people that have been involved with reality TV. One is Frankensteining, where they take clips of someone and they put together a sentence, and then they show random footage so you don't see their mouth moving to know that it's all different backgrounds and stuff taken from everything else. And they also refer to each person on reality TV show having what they refer to as their cut. And their cut is basically the personality they decide, like on Survivor, for example. There may be times where one person who's portrayed on that show as being sort of doughy-eyed and not having a role in making decisions. They may have been very active in making those roles and decisions, but for their cut, the producers of that show choose to show them as being naive doofuses who are played by everyone else.
Yeah.
Because that's what they need in order to further their storytelling line, and maybe that's done to some point with Kate, because it was, frankly, better television when she was being an a-hole to John.
This guy's having some serious psychological issues. And I'm telling you, man, now his whole world, he's going to spend all his money. He's going to have nothing. What the hell is this guy going to do?
Nothing.
You blew it.
Yeah, she is the breadwinner in that family. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he was hitched to a pretty good wagon there, and he decided to go on his own like he's some sort of star. And I think that's why he's trying to slow down everything. And now he's like, oh yeah, sure, I'd love to work out the marriage, because I'm realizing that once all this controversy is over, no one will care about me.
He's going to end up doing like a morning radio show in Rochester with Dee Snider. He's going to be like a stunt guy.
Yeah.
On the Dee Snider show.
And for like 3 months until they just fire him.
Maybe he is going to go on House of Hair.
Oh.
Possible.
What
in a
nightmare.
Moment, 2 examples of radio power plays that didn't work. One was an actual, these are not people we know, but people that we know them. I heard both of these through the grapevine in the last week. One is an example of someone saying, well, this is how it's going to be, or I'm going to walk. And the other one is an example of, I'm the star, I can say whatever I want to anyone at any time. We'll ask you to share your story of where your sort of power play was called. They called your bluff, and something bad happened. We'll get to that coming up. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com.
3-1 pitch on the way.
Swung on and belted into left field. It just missed the second deck. Fly away. I don't believe it. I see the light. I believe you, Mike. Unbelievable. It is 2-0. Mariners.
The Mariners didn't make the playoffs, but they made the best radio play-by-play call of the year, at least in my mind. Mike Blowers had predicted exactly what happened in the pregame, a ridiculous prediction of, what was the guy, Tuyasa Sopo, I remember his first name. In his second at-bat, it's a rookie, in his second at-bat of the night, he would get a 3-1 fastball and hit a home run into the near upper deck of left center field, and then that's exactly what happened, thus the crazy reaction. Your story of the time that you decided to show the world how powerful you were, and someone called your bluff, and next thing you know, it didn't work out. 1-800-947-3979. 2 stories from radio of people doing similar things. One exactly that, and the other one not exactly, but still not a good way to introduce yourself.
I love hearing about radio people.
The first one took place in Indianapolis, and apparently this one was about a month ago. One of the, and it wasn't a radio show that I knew, or that I had heard of, because we've met a lot of shows where we know friend of a friend kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what happened was they were one of the shows in a sort of a hot AC format, sort of like Matchbox 20 and the latest from Christina Aguilera kind of stuff.
Top 40 without the rap.
Right. And they hired the program director, or for those not familiar with the business, the boss from the station across the street that they had been beating.
Okay.
At least in the mornings. So that was a big deal. So then the operations manager is bringing that boss around, and when he brings him into that morning show's office, the morning show host, they say, so-and-so, this is the new program director, Dave Barry, or whatever his name was. And the morning show host said, oh, yeah, good to meet you. I'm the guy that's been beating your ass for 5 years.
So there's kind of like maybe a little bit of laughter.
That seems like a typical radio thing. I mean, that doesn't sound completely weird to me in this particular business.
The comment didn't surprise me.
No.
It's kind of a rough start. That's something that I might say if I knew the other person a little bit, so I'd know how they were going to react.
Yeah.
Like you might say it kind of tongue-in-cheek. Apparently this other person is not someone known for their sense of humor, because later that day, he fired a top 5 rated morning show.
He fired the show.
He did?
Fired the show.
I can't believe
stupid.
his bosses let him do that.
I was surprised too, because
That's
that seems
ridiculous. That's stupid.
But apparently their ratings weren't as great as they thought. Maybe they were beating him and no one else.
Wow.
But either way, man, you better be careful who you're. I mean, he's still your boss.
Well, yeah.
Probably good to pick your battles.
Said the guys who insult their bosses all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah, but
we never stopped.
Nah, we're just kidding when we say you're fat losers.
Yeah, usually we're kidding.
We're just kidding when we say you're very homely.
We have never done segments lasting 15 to 30 minutes about how ugly someone is.
We're just kidding when we say, go ahead and get to your job of scheduling crazy songs next to each other. We're just kidding when we say, yeah, go take the place this real importance on focus groups and not on ratings.
Mm-hmm. I thought you'd like that story.
Oh, absolutely.
But can you believe that? I guess, it's up to him if he wants to fire them. I guess when he signed his contract to come across the street and work, they said, well, it'll be your choice. And I wonder if that was a situation where he said, well, what do you think of this morning show? They're okay, but I'll want to work with them. And so then when he heard that, he went, nope.
Sounds like a thin-skinned Nancy to me.
We're just kidding when we say you got nothing after we sign off.
I, JT, need my chocolate.
Hot Wings, what do you think of all this?
We're just kidding. Hot Wings, we're just kidding. You know we're just kidding.
I know.
Okay, good. I'm glad you know, and so does he. He told me so.
So the second story.
Uh-huh.
This was from a sports talk station in Oklahoma City.
All right.
Longtime morning show on the sports talk station. For one reason or another, the station management decided they were going to move this sports talk show from mornings to the afternoon.
Okay.
Now, if that offer was made to me, I would be delighted and thrilled, because that would mean I would be able to sleep in.
Mm-hmm. Unless they were going to half your pay.
Maybe.
Then maybe that would be an issue.
Maybe they were. So the host storms into the general manager's office and says, I just heard you want to move me to afternoons, even though we've been on in mornings for whatever year, however many years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that is Tom or whatever his name was. That is what we're thinking about doing. We hope you'll be a team player, and here are the reasons why we're going to do it, and we're looking forward to it. We think it's going to make the lineup for the station even better. It's going to be even stronger. Host replies, if you do that, I quit.
Okay.
To which he was promptly handed a box for his belongings.
Yeah, you can't do that. Because
if you're going to throw down the if you do that, I quit comment, well, you should plan on quitting.
Yeah. Essentially, I consider that a demotion. They take you out of morning drive and put you in an afternoon drive. One is more important than the other. Morning drive is more important, at least right now, than afternoon drive. So that is a sense they don't need you as much. So if they don't need you as much, you probably don't want to lay the gauntlet down.
Right.
Probably not the best timing.
No.
So your power play that went wrong, because I'm sure if you had paused that conversation and said to him, okay, you think when you say this, they're going to give you back the morning show. You think they have underestimated your resolve and how important that is to you. And that host no doubt would have said, yeah, man, they're not going to do this. I'm me.
Yeah. You think they're still thinking about it, but they're not.
No, that's the last. The decision's been made long ago. This is just letting you know. Always the last to know.
Yep.
1-800-947-3979. I think I'm too much of a puss to have ever tried anything like this.
Yeah, I've never confronted
no self-confidence
boss or anything like
so
that.
I'm assuming that it's probably going to get fired anyway.
No, I've never done that. Like hey, you either do this or else.
No, but you confronted somebody with.
Right, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't like, no, you're not going to do this, you're going to do this, or else I'm leaving.
No,
it was still stupid. We've chronicled that many times.
Tammy in Nashville, did you make a statement and your bluff was called?
Oh my God, and it went horribly wrong.
Yeah,
what happened?
This was about 5 years ago. The economy wasn't so bad then. My husband wasn't working by choice. And I told him that he either needed to get a job or he needed to leave. Well, the next morning I left to go to work, and he wiped out my bank account, took my kids, and split.
Whoa, geez, yeah. I got
it went horribly wrong.
Wow, this? It sounds like wouldn't that be considered kidnapping?
Well, just regardless of the legalities of it, I knew where he had took them, so there was nothing the cops could do because I knew where they were and they were safe.
Okay. Wow. Did it ever get fixed?
Yeah, we reconciled about 3 years ago, and I mean, I ended up getting my kids back and all that. He just he called my bluff. It's pretty much what it boiled down to. He's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, yeah, and well, that's what happened.
So Tammy, was there actually a point where you went, well, I didn't really want him to leave. I just wanted him to get a job.
Well, no, at that moment, I was mad enough I wanted him to leave. I just didn't want him to take my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the kids back like a week later. He was just trying to strong-arm me. And like I said, we reconciled and everything worked out. And come to find out that him being so tired and lazy, there was actually a medical condition behind it that left him not feeling well enough to have the oomph to go and do anything. I just thought he was depressed and was trying to, put the pitchfork in his behind.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you, Tammy. Damn. That's an impressive reconciliation right there. That's a big deal.
Get a job or get out. All right, see ya.
I would have gotten that, like when we've done, which, by the way, that call reminded me we need to do it again, marriage court, where people call in and they tell us all of the things that have happened in their relationship, and then we have to guess whether they are together or divorced. That game, not only do I get them wrong on the air, but later when I hear it on Best Of and I guess again because I can't remember the exact scenario, I get it wrong a second time.
I see.
Wrong every time.
Yeah.
I would have gotten that one wrong. If you told me that someone took the kids and left and drained your account, I would have said, sorry, that's a deal breaker.
Man.
I would have guessed. She's the only person in our audience who has ever
made that power play. Well, that's tough. That is a tough one.
It is, man. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. You know when you're driving down the road and you see those roadside memorials that people put up when...
Oh, God.
I think
everywhere.
Hotwings, you've done commentaries for them where somebody has a car accident and they put up some paper-mache flowers or something like that.
Or a cross.
Yes. Yeah, the roadside,
I see
the impromptu roadside memorial.
Very inappropriate.
Yeah,
absolutely inappropriate.
It is.
Why don't you like them, Zane?
because I don't want to see where people died when I'm driving down the road. Much as the same reason why I don't like driving into cemeteries and looking around and saying, "Hey, look at this."
I have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
You have. I think you've done commentaries about those before.
Years ago, but yes, I definitely did.
Yeah, just because a loved one died there, and as difficult as that is to mention, and sad as that is, that doesn't give you the right to build a mausoleum on the side of the GD road.
Yeah, a lot of loved ones die at hospitals, but you don't get to go in there and craft some sort of paper mache cross and stick it up in the ER.
Mourning your home.
I don't think that if I had a loved one die in a car accident, I don't think I want to be reminded by it.
No.
Every time.
No, I wouldn't. That is not how I would go about it.
No,
Plus,
terrible.
If they died there, there's a good chance. Now, not always, but in some cases, it's a dangerous stretch of road.
Yeah.
So what you did then was then stop along dangerous stretch of road, get out and put up something distracting along the dangerous stretch of road.
Go make a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah,
great.
I think roadside memorials are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not that I'm against all memorials, but the other one that would never be really appropriate for me, and I don't. This one doesn't bother me when other people have them, but is when you see a memorial where it's the entire back of an automobile's windshield.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Loving memory, date of birth, date of death.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm okay with you doing
Giant ostrich face. Did you ever see that?
No.
I saw one the other day. This woman, there's this thing that people have been putting on the back of minivans. See a lot of soccer moms doing with this gigantic ass ostrich face on it.
I haven't seen that.
God, I don't know what the hell it is.
Like a cartoon or like sort
no,
of
it's a face of an ostrich looking at you, the driver behind you,
and
it's just a gimmick, like baby on board kind of
I
thing.
guess.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
and
very
on the
good.
corner it said in loving memory, and it was two unrelated things, but on the same back windshield.
It's like they were
window.
remembering so and so with
doesn't make sense.
With an ostrich face. It's not very nice.
My God, I don't get that. Yeah, keep your memorials to yourself.
Yeah, we should have a Joe Stone go and destroy roadside memorials.
Oh my God.
Get rid of them. Eradicate the roadside memorial.
Or producer Joe's build the most obnoxious roadside memorial possible.
It's got a fountain.
Intentionally make it as crappy as it can
giant
be.
phallic penis.
The sad thing is I don't think anyone would notice.
Mm-hmm.
But Joe, how close did you grow up to Romeoville, Illinois? It's apparently a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah, ring a bell.
Because you lived in the suburbs part of your time, and you lived in the actual city for some time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Romeoville. I've heard of it, but I don't know where it is.
They have a new plan in Romeoville, and that they've announced that they are going to start selling official roadside memorials, and experts believe this will be a trend that will sweep all over the country as the local municipalities see a way to cash in on this and to have them look a little bit more uniform. Here's how it'll work. According to town officials, the memorials will consist of a decorative pole and a marker giving the victim's name and the date of their accident. If you want to do that, it'll cost you $100. The county, or the city in this case, will come out, plant it, put up the name placard, and then every time you go by, you can remember it.
It's better than than what's now. Some jerk gets a couple of pine trees and cobbles it together to make a cross and puts this dumb spray-painted sign next to it. It's better than that.
It is. Barely.
Yeah.
There's going to be enough of them up that someone will end up getting killed by one of them when they get in a car accident, slide off the road.
More things to hit.
Stephanie writes, the most eerie memorial I ever saw was just recently in Gettysburg. It says there was a toddler bed buried on the side of the road as a memorial.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's awful. Just because you're sad, why do you got to ruin it for everybody else?
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Driving along, listening to something and singing along with a song, and all of a sudden I got to remember you had a loved one die.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks a lot.
No thanks.
Tomorrow, producer Joe's Baby Talker Challenge. He's going to go out and talk to adults like they're babies in that fashion that irritates everyone but people who do it.
Yeah, I think that's actually called Motherese.
Motherese.
I do believe. M-O-R-T-H, mother, and then E-S-E. I'm not positive on that, but I think that's what it's called. Speaking Motherese.
Good.
Makes sense. Either way, Joe's going to do it. That's tomorrow. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. 97.9 GRD, Grand Rapids Rock Alternative, the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. So as you get home from work today, a lot of people will be gathering at bars or racing home if you're a Tiger fan to see their progress. Maybe even check progress while you're hitting the road if you're stuck in traffic or whatever.
See, they'll be checking out the end of the baseball season for the Detroit Tigers.
It certainly seems likely.
I hate to be cynical, but this is a monumental collapse.
It's a pretty big failure. When you're that far ahead with like a month to go and you can't put runs on the scoreboard.
As just to show how monumental it is, if they indeed lose today, the Tigers, they will become the 5th team to blow a 7-game lead that they held at the beginning of September. Now, the last team that did it was the New York Mets. In 2007. Before that, the other 3 teams that have done it were all prior to 1935.
Wow.
So it hadn't happened for 70 years.
Remember the Miracle Mets?
Yeah.
When they came back?
Mm-hmm. Against the Cubs, against Joe's Cubs in 1969.
How far back were they?
Don't remember.
Wow, I didn't. I thought that was like the. I think the granddaddy of all collapses.
I think they may have been further back, but with more time remaining in the season, I think is the difference. But I don't know for sure. We might find out that's different. But yeah, like 2 of the teams that have blown this sort of lead don't even exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Chicago Dragons or something like that. Teams that you'd never even heard of. But a lot of people are pointing fingers at the Tigers already, which is a pretty terrible sign. I mean, if the Twins don't win, their fans and the Minneapolis-St. Paul media will say, boy, they gave it a good run. They really put the pressure on. They made something out of nothing. If the Tigers don't win, it's finger-pointing time because they were the ones that were way ahead, and they were up 3 games with 4 to go. Mm-hmm. That's hard to believe that you could then somehow find yourself in this playoff, but it happened. And a lot of people are indeed pointing a finger at Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, he's an easy one to point at the moment.
He's your best player, one of the top 5 hitters in baseball, makes $152 million, yet he could not find it within himself to stay away from the bars at the Townsend Hotel in Birmingham, Michigan, Friday night into Saturday morning. At 6 o'clock, he was measured, according to police, for his own safety, and had a blood alcohol content 3 times the legal limit for motorists. Now, he was not driving, but he still had a .26 at 6 o'clock in the morning. That would indicate to me that it was probably considerably higher, or at least somewhat higher at some point, unless he had just never slowed down drinking.
Well, he was described as uncooperative and incoherent. So
it all started, according to the police report. Cabrera suffered an eye injury to the left side of his face. His wife suffered an injury to her lower lip. Cabrera's gold neck chain was broken and a cell phone was damaged. His wife, quote, was upset when Miguel came home intoxicated, woke up their child, and was talking on the phone, the report says. The wife asked that her husband leave, so officers took him to the police station. That's how that all went down. And then they administered a breath test. I still don't know why they administered the breath test.
They said it was for his own safety.
For his own safety, okay. Because if he's too drunk, they're obviously going to take him to the hospital.
Yeah, might pump his stomach.
At some point, like if you're over .35, there's a legitimate concern that your lungs will just stop remembering to breathe.
Yeah.
And amongst a variety of other problems.
Dave Dombrowski picked him up at the police station.
Yeah.
Patterson said, the spokesperson said officers also investigated an incident involving Cabrera earlier this year. We talked about this. The same hotel, which is a common destination for visiting pro sports teams.
Mm-hmm. The Tigers had told him to stay out of that hotel after the August incident, saying that he obviously was getting into trouble.
Man.
He had 2 incidents there. Another one, he was mocked for his weight by a teenager.
Yep.
And then that resulted in an incident. And then, like we said, on August 31st, there was a suspicious circumstance at the Rugby Grill.
You fat ass.
That was the kid making fun of him.
You fat ass.
He got pissed off.
33 home runs, 323 batting average, 101 runs batted in for the year. So that's a solid season. But
it is, but it's all tarnished now because of his behavior when they needed him the most. He better hope that in today's game he hits for the cycle and maybe 2 grand slams.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be about the only way he can redeem himself.
Because against the White Sox, he was 0 for 11 in the series, and there were a number of times where he came up with runners in scoring position. And considering the fact that they couldn't score against the White Sox, and if they had just won 2 of those games, they'd be in the playoffs now.
Yeah, that's rough.
And they ended up winning the third one, but even that wasn't they had to throw their ace.
Right.
The other thing because we talked the other day about, I was saying Saturday night that fingers were going to be pointed at Jim Leland.
Yep.
He did things down the stretch. Like if in baseball's, it's different than basketball, certainly, because of the number of games and stuff. But let's say when the Pistons were making their run at championships, there was never a time where Larry Brown would say, well, there's only, we need to rest our best players as we try to lock up this conference title. So Tayshaun's going to sit today, and we're going to start someone else. We're going to start Corliss Williamson, or bad example, but whoever. You play your best guys in your biggest games. And Leland didn't do that. They had that big game, at one point, and Polanco's not playing, one of your best clutch hitters, a guy who had been ripping the cover off the ball when runners were in scoring position, and you've got him on the bench. And a number of other situations. They started a guy in the second game of that series against the White Sox that had 4 career starts. That's the best you can do?
Are people questioning that, like in the locker room and the press conferences and things like that? Because if they did, that would be a reason for Leland to get fussy.
Well, he got really pissed at the media for asking about the Cabrera thing, and lectured the media on how he was just there to talk about baseball and not there to talk about other stuff. But when a guy shows up with marks on his face, doesn't talk to the media, and then his performance is poor, people are going to ask those kinds of questions.
By the way, Leland's simple. He's got to learn how to handle the press when it comes to that. So you got this crazy, sensitive issue, and they go, so what's your thoughts on Cabrera? And what he should have done was, what? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, there's scrapes on his face, and there's rumors of a domestic altercation. He goes, there is? Well, I didn't hear. I don't know. I'll let you know. I hadn't heard about it. Let me check in. I haven't heard a thing about that. I didn't notice. Just lie. Who cares? Make it up. Eventually, it'll come around that you'll have to know. But at the time, let them think about it.
Yeah. Well, Cabrera, did you hear what he spun it as the first time when somebody brought it up to him?
His dog.
His dog.
His dog did it.
God, that's not even... that's like grade school kind of stuff.
No, if you're going to do that, at least make it really hilarious. Pick a crazy animal that would not attack you ever. Oh, there was a bear.
I had this chinchilla, and he was adorable. And he didn't like that I wanted to make a pair of, that I want to make a coat out of him and some of his family, and he went crazy.
He punched my face and stole my gold chain, and also gave me shots of booze while I was passed out. You're going to hear about it later.
That was one angry animal.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll have a big day today.
You better.
It is so over. Don't even play.
Some of the columnists, the Detroit papers and MLive, are talking about not only is this a blemish on his season, but it could mark the beginning of the end of his career as a Tiger.
Yeah.
I think that's I would like to see a guy, regardless of if he's your best player, but especially if he's your best player, get a chance to kind of get his life straight. Because it sounds like if he's having all of these incidents and they all involve alcohol, which at least that's what's being reported, maybe he has a problem and maybe he needs some help rather than just trading him away. Now, if he gets offered that help and turns it away and continues to be a problem, well, then you make the hard decision. But it sounds like it's an issue.
Yep, we'll see.
That being said, they win today, and he has a big day, like Hot Wings said.
And people can forget and forgive. But
yeah, that happens. But none of us believe it will because the Twins have just eaten the Tigers' lunch all year, and it seems like forever. It seems like the Tigers have only won about 3 games at the Metrodome since 1987.
It does seem that way.
I'm sure people could probably find times where the Tigers won the series or won the season series at the Metrodome.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it. It feels like they always lose at the Metrodome. Well, JT's in next.
All right.
That's it for us. It's 97.9 GRD.